And here we are, everybody. Welcome to Tim Reynolds Show's live play-by-play here of NASCAR Cup Series 2025 race at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And guys, we are a little late to getting the broadcast underway as we are 46 laps into the race right now with Josh Berry, driver of the number 21 Ford for the Wood Brothers, in the lead right now. Austin Cindric is second in his Ford for Penske Racing. Let's go. Everyone say hi. This is my wife, Amber. Hope everybody's doing well. Thanks for hanging out with us today.
Choices. You can just tap the brake just a little bit to try to break that momentum. Or
all right, so 14 laps to go here in stage number one. Josh Berry does have the lead. You see our race tracker there to keep you guys up to date. Let's go.
Yeah, he's good everywhere. He's obviously has the handling down. He's able to keep the throttle down. The bottom of the track, right? They want to give you the bottom lane of the racetrack, but that's the hardest part, the shortest way around. You have to pull on the wheel harder. The car's already tight. It doesn't like scrubbing anymore. It scrubs a lot of speed off because you're trying to turn the wheel so hard. 5 of the top 10 started in the top 5. But half of the top 10 right now started 14th, Bubba Wallace, or worse.
Yeah, that 23 car of Bubba Wallace is really good.
So now number 21, Josh Berry with the lead with 12 laps to go here in stage number one. Lap 49. Austin Cindric is in second. Close behind him, Bubba Wallace and Joey Logano are both exchanging third and fourth place, with William Byron close behind as he's in the draft here behind the number 23 Toyota, and he's looking to make a move in the middle lane. Bubba Wallace pulls away, though, from the 24. And we see the number 23 Toyota now up behind Austin Cindric, looking to make a move for second place, and he's side by side. And now Bubba Wallace makes a turn inside, and he has second place, and he's going to contend for the lead. Now side by side with the leader, Josh Berry, and his number 21 Ford. The number 23 Camry now falls back behind second place, as we see Austin Cindric and his number 2 Ford battle in second place position behind Josh Berry, and now they pull away after a strong run there by number 23 Bubba Wallace, but he continues to fall back in the inside lane with the number 24 Chevy of William Byron, last week's Daytona 500 winner, now pulling into the third place position as we hit a side-by-side commercial break here. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Please make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And there's our kitty cat. What? You want to come up here and hang out with Daddy? Is that it? Want to say hi, Midnight? You say hi to everybody? Hi. Ooh. Mr. Menace over here. The Black Cat Menace. You're not going up there. Make sure he doesn't get into anything. All right, so still on commercial break here with Josh Berry having the lead here in the front of the pack. As you see here, guys, on our tracker. No views yet. Can you check it out and make sure it's on my channel? I'm about to, and maybe go put it on in the living room. Thank you, baby.
Alex Bowman talking here about handling.
Really tight center off, copy on the center, tight, go in yesterday, right about third here, if we get you to the wall and it turned back down, I know you're tight, it would build a little bit of speed, we were really free, it may not work for you now, it's something to think about later.
We have had a change in guard at the front of this field. 10 out of 11 were Fords when we started this race. The Chevrolets have showed up, and these 2311 cars both in the top 10.
All right, so we just heard radio communication from the number 48 Chevy of Alex Bowman for Hendrick Motorsports. Really tight right now is what we're hearing from most of the cars here on this Atlanta Motor Speedway, super speedway type racing track.
Yeah, there's a lot of drivers, I think, anxious for the end of this stage one. We're hearing a lot of drivers.
And now with 3 laps to go here in this first stage, we got some tough racing with Ryan Blaney, driver of the number 12, the pole sitter, making a move inside on Michael on number 34.
4 tires for everybody. They can adjust air pressure in any of the 4
And that's
corners.
Todd Gilliland in the Aaron's Speedway car. As we see Joey Logano riding on board with him now as he tries to move up into the top 10.
Big run on the bottom, got tight, lifted, and they all went by.
And that's one of the characteristics of the Ford. They have a tough time running that bottom groove, and we saw Bubba Wallace dive down in front.
And what's going on, everybody? Thank you for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show for this live play-by-play here of the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series race at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And guys, we have 1 lap to go. Final lap here in stage number 1. And we got some big racing here up near the front. Josh Berry, driver of the number 21 Ford, has the lead with Austin Cindric, the number 2 Ford, right behind him. William Byron, last week's Daytona 500 winner, is right behind him as well. Bubba Wallace in the number 23 Toyota tries to make some move on the inside, but William Byron blocks him and takes the second place position away from Austin Cindric. And to the line, it's going to be Josh Berry with his first stage win of the season. And the Wood Brothers number 21 Ford Mustang gets their first stage win of the season. Those are going to be some good playoff points there for him. And can he continue his momentum here in this one? As Josh Berry looks to take that stage win all the way to the end and possibly a race win here at Atlanta. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. It's a family affair. We are hanging out with the wife as well. She is crocheting today, and you guys see we got your leaderboard there for you guys. Right there is the tracker. As you see here, after stage number 1, Josh Berry does finish as the leader, and he gets 10 crucial playoff points after that win there in stage number 1. Austin Cindric, driver for the number 2 Ford for Penske Racing, finishes in the second position. William Byron, last week's winner, able to pass by Bubba Wallace to get the third position here at the end of stage 1. Bubba Wallace, the first Toyota to finish in the top 5 here after stage 1, and his number 23. And then Chase Elliott rounds out the top 5. The guy I'm picking to win this race, baby. And his number 9 Chevy for Hendrick Motorsports rounds out the top 5. And the number 6 position after stage 1 is Tyler Reddick in his number 45 Toyota for 2311 Racing. Todd Gilliland with a nice finish here after stage 1 and his number 34 Ford as he finishes 7th after stage 1. Ryan Blaney, the pole sitter, finishes 8th after stage 1 and his number 12 Ford for Penske Racing. Carson Hocevar and his number 77 Chevy finishes in the 9th position after stage 1. And Joey Logano, the reigning defending Cup Series champion from last year, rounds out the top 10 here after stage 1 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Right now, we are on commercial break, so you know what time it is. Oh, yeah! That was a perfect pop of that soda pop, baby. Cheers to you guys, and thanks for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. This is kind of cool. I really like this setup.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really good too on the. Did it look good on the video?
Yeah, it looks good. You want to pull it back up?
Right now we got 5 people watching. That's cool. Thank you everybody for watching here on this live stream. And oh man, next Sunday in St. Petersburg, Florida, my hometown, we will see the IndyCar season open. And man, I cannot wait for that race. It's always a very competitive race there to kick off the IndyCar season. Thank you everybody for hanging out, man. We already got 3 likes on this live stream. Let's go.
60, 160, 260, so.
And we see earlier today the crew chief meeting with Daniel Suarez. Is that Ed Reed? That's Ed, babe. Ed Reed is in the.
On a wheel.
That's Ed Reed. That's an NFL Hall of Fame safety right there with Daniel Suarez's racing team. What is he doing in there? Is he a part owner or something? Look, they even mentioned him. I pointed that out right away. Look at that. Look at that. And there he is, the driver of the number 99 Chevy, Daniel Suarez, last year's winner at Atlanta.
Mike, William Byron's pit crew got it done last week. Once again,
Front tire changer. I won a pickup truck shooting a bow and arrow last year.
Orrin Osowski, rear tire changer. Father to Senna Osowski.
Ryan Patton, tire carrier. Picker mitt for all 14 of William Byron's Cup Series wins.
Having some broadcasting issues, it looks like here.
Landon Walker, fueler, Clemson University, 2-time Daytona 500 champion.
and that is the same exact pit crew that he had last year. A couple of football standouts from college. We've got some veterans, and one of the few left-handed tire changers make up William Byron's 24 crew, Mike.
That's interesting, Jamie. Never thought of left-handed versus right-handed tire changers, but okay. All right, under caution. They come around the flat of turns 3 and 4, and we've had a lot of issues on pit road here. More speeding penalties at Atlanta than any other track last year, and lots of contact on pit road.
Yeah, the stalls are narrow, and you have differing strategies here. 2 tires, no tires, gas, 4 tires, whatever that is. They wind up meeting in the middle as they're trying to get in and out of their boxes.
Jamie?
Joey Logano making his 578th consecutive start in the NASCAR Cup Series. Right now, he's lacking overall grip.
And now we are in the pits after stage number 1, as we see Joey Logano getting 4 tires and gas with some adjustments. Number 21, Josh Berry, no adjustments it looks like for him, except for some tire pressure. William Byron also in the pits, trying to make sure he gets full of fuel, and he does. And we'll see the race off the pits here. Oh, man, looks like Joey Logano. Oh, and some contact inside the pits from Alex Bowman to the pole sitter, number 12, Ryan Blaney. And Alex Bowman is the big gainer on that one as he jumps up 8 spots to the 7th position. And Joey Logano, after his beautiful pit stop, makes the lead, or gets the lead after that, gaining 9 spots on pit road. That's one hell of a pit stop there for the reigning defending Cup Series champion. All right, so we are back in commercial break here. Hopefully we get some more people to hang out in the chat. Guys, let me know in that chat right there what you guys think of this NASCAR race in Atlanta. Ever since they reconfigured this racetrack and made it into a super speedway, this has been one of the more competitive and fun-watching racetracks in NASCAR Cup Series, and definitely after what we've seen last year when we had the closest finish ever in NASCAR Cup Series history when Daniel Suarez was able to get the victory in his number 99 Chevy for Trackhouse Racing.
Alright, well, my pattern's right, so I'm gonna try again.
Okay. And yeah, guys, we got the wife here too. She is working on some badass crochet art, as you can see there. Look at how pretty that is. Yeah, my wife is talented. Let's just say that. All right. In more ways than one. Let's hope we get some more people hanging out here in the chat. That'd be awesome. Right now it says we got one person watching. But all good, all good. You got it out there on the TV? That's so cool. That wasn't on there last time, the race tracker.
Yeah.
This is so awesome. That's what I was looking for the whole entire time.
Right. That's really cool that you found it.
All right, guys. So after that first round of pits, after stage number 1, Joey Logano comes out as the leader. The number 22 Ford. Josh Berry in his number 21 Ford comes out in second place after he came into the pits as the leader. Austin Cindric, Joey Logano's teammate, in the number 2 Ford, comes out third. Austin Cindric does. Tyler Reddick ends up coming out fourth in his number 45 Toyota after their first pit stop. William Byron rounds out the top 5 in his number 24 Chevy. Alex Bowman ends up 6th, and he gained the second most spots on pit road.
Whose bus is this? Jeff. Who is Jeff? Jeff. Okay, well, thanks. Just Jeff. Thanks. Thanks to have another one. They're enjoying the race as we are. This young fellow is. All right, so how about the changing weather conditions? Got a lot cooler here. The sun will be setting shortly, and it's cloudy.
Oh, you said it, Chris. Since we were out here for pre-race, the clouds have come in, and I've heard Kevin and Clint talking about the handling of the cars. If it cools down, that might take a little bit of that away. The guy I got my eye on, though, is Stenhouse Jr. He's up 21 spots, started in the back of the field. He's won 4 times on a drafting-style track.
Suarez was 19th after one stage last year. Remember, he survived an early crash and a speeding penalty to win in that close finish.
So we got some cloud cover heading in over the racetrack.
Thanks, Chris.
Which reportedly has a lot of the cars very tight right now. So a lot of adjustments probably on pit road after these last set of pit stops. And penalties last season at Atlanta. In the spring race we had 14, and in the summer race we had 10. So
Kyle Busch had trouble all the way back to 32nd.
Yeah, and we talked about the 18. We thought that as they choose here, we thought that if they could keep it clean on pit road, they would have a shot today, but that didn't happen.
So let's take a look at some of that congestion.
So looks like there were some penalties on pit road here. And talk about some congestion too. As we see Alex Bowman gets into the back of number 12, Brian Blaney.
Watch him. Car is down to come away, but the
and then Ryan Priest.
He gets dragged out of the box.
The gas man could not disconnect before the car exited the pit box. So that's a penalty. That's actually Brad Keselowski.
Brad carrying the buildsubmarines.com cam on board his Ford.
Yeah, and it's so hard in the timing with everything, with that fueler leaving the pit stall. So Brad talking about leaving a little bit too hard, and the can got hung in there as he had to turn a little sharper getting out of the pit stall to go around that one car.
Field in turn number 4 Fords for Logano, Berry, and Cindric. The first Toyota is Tyler Reddick in 4th, and we're going to listen to Joey Logano's team on the restart. Coleman Presley is his spotter as they approach something new at the SMI.
And here we go, restart zone and start of stage number 2. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys. And yeah, we got a strong push coming from the number 24 Chevy behind Josh Berry and his number 21 Ford. But teammates at the top as Austin Cindric is pushing Joey Logano and their Penske Racing Fords, and that pushes Joey Logano to the lead. And now we have a very close battle up front here as we see Joey Logano now trying to extend his lead, but Josh Berry continues to fight in the bottom lane. And at the finish line there, at the checkered line, Joey Logano remains the leader on lap number 70 as we are in stage number 2 here at Atlanta Superspeedway, Atlanta Motor Speedway, I should say. And Joey Logano finished 28th in the spring race last year here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, but got the win in the summer race that really helped propel him to that championship run last season. And now it looks like Joey Logano is pulling away here. Austin Cindric and his number 2 Ford is now in second, right behind his teammate. Joey Logano, though, heads down to the bottom lane to block Josh Berry in front. As we see here, Joey Logano driving away from the pack, but Josh Berry trying to make a strong run right behind the defending Cup Series champion. And how about Team Penske's domination on drafting tracks? 11 straight seasons with the win, over 898 laps led since 2023. The next closest team only has 235 and 190 laps running 1 and 2 since 2024. That's 6 more times than any other team in NASCAR, as this Penske Racing team dominates these drafting tracks, with Joey Logano in the next-gen car having led the most laps out of all drivers, with 2 other Penske Racing drivers, Austin Cindric and Ryan Blaney, right below him as far as leading laps in this next-gen car at superspeedway racetracks. And right now, Joey Logano running in first, Austin Cindric running in third, and Ryan Blaney, the pole sitter, is running in ninth. So all 3 Penske Racing Fords are in the top 10 right now. We got some good, clean racing going on throughout this track, throughout this race early on, as we have 74 laps down. We're riding with Chase Briscoe in his number 19 Toyota. Currently in 15th spot, the 15th position. We're 3 wide in corner number 2, heading down the backstretch, and oh, there's some contact there from the number 48 Chevy. Alex Bowman got into what looked like Bubba Wallace or possibly Todd Gilliland, number 34, and he's able to just spring ahead. That number 48 Chevy is fast right now in the 6th position. And right now, a bunch of hard racing here in the top 5, and we see Van Gisbergen in the number 88 Chevy for Trackhouse Racing, trying to make a move on the inside of the number 42 car, but he can't make the pass. And that number 42 Toyota clamps down on Shane Van Gisbergen, but he's able to keep the inside, hold it there, and oh man, Ty Gibbs almost ran into his teammate, number 20, and that Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing avoids a big accident there, and Ty Gibbs has to back off. Currently in 19th position. And now we're looking back here on Eric Jones's number 43 Toyota for Legacy Motorsports. He's currently riding in 17th position here. Started 28th on the day. Joey Logano continues to hold the lead here early on.
Well, it was on display last week in the
Josh Berry in second, Austin Cindric in third. And we're seeing a nice push from Todd Gilliland. Oh, and we got some contact. A nice shot to the back of the number 20 Toyota, driven by Christopher Bell. I believe that was his teammate that gave him a nice push in the corner. And we are 3 wide heading towards the finish line. And after going across the checkered line there, we have reached lap number 78 of this 260 lap race here. And man, people are fast, but we got some good, clean racing going on here. And the fans there at Atlanta Motor Speedway are loving it, folks. What's that?
I think I did it right this time.
Well, way to go, baby. I told you you could do it. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Man, we've already got up to 23 views on this stream. Let's go. I'm liking that. Guys, if you will, take a minute. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel and share this live stream with your friends and family, especially if they're NASCAR fans. Let's go, man. Cheers to you guys. So now as we wait here side by side. We have just approached lap 80 here of this race at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And we're seeing early on that high line working a lot better. The high line is working a lot better, it seems like, for a lot of these cars than the bottom is. As we see number 34, Todd Gilliland, and his Ford drop to that bottom line to try to get around Austin Cindric. But you see there, they kind of lose momentum as they get to that bottom line. Right now, the top line is carrying a lot of the momentum, and you see the nice drafting line that they have there with all of these cars. And with these drafting tracks, the more cars you're able to have in a straight line, the better the draft is going to be. We've seen a lot of three-wide racing here, so we know the cars are able to maneuver around this racetrack pretty well for the most part. But trying to get that top speed, that's only going to happen if you're in the draft. As we see number 34, Todd Gilliland, try to make a move on the inside for the lead, but we have our first caution flag of the night. As we see the number 10 Chevy here, driven by, I believe that's Ty Dillon, trying to make it back to the pits. But he's not able to get that car to move the way he wants to. And that's going to bring out a caution flag here with 83 laps down in this race at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. And after that caution, we will see some pit strategy going on here for these NASCAR teams. Now we see Ty Dillon still trying to get that car,
but it's not going anywhere.
Definitely damage on the right side.
Yeah, and you'll see right here the
oh
car,
man,
Ty Dillon, he's sideways in the middle of the corner already when we pick him up.
I can't tell if the tire's already down at that point.
Yeah, you see the hood flap up right there, but looks like
right rear.
The tire blew out and blew the fender off as he's skidding down the racetrack. So it looks like he just lost control of the car, spun out, and then as the tire blew, it blew the fender off the car.
Now here's why he's trying so hard to get going. If he can drive it back to pit road, they can make repairs there.
Look it up. They got to push me.
But if
Just stop moving and I'll give you a push like that.
all right, they'll push him as a courtesy to see if he can get going. But if they have to hook that car up to the wrecker, it has to be towed back to the garage, and they can work on it there. We're under caution.
All right, so now we're under our first caution of the day. Believe me, it might be the second caution of the day. With the number 10 Chevy, driven by Ty Dillon, unfortunately had a tire go down and spun out, which brought out the caution. So now we'll see pit stops here for most of these teams. And after the last set of pit stops that we had after the end of stage 1, I'm really excited to see how many people can move up in position here on these next set of pit stops. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Guys, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Well, everybody, it's almost 420. Whoop, whoop. A 420 break, huh? That sounds nice. You know, I'm not gonna lie, guys. This is pretty dang cool. I can't believe I finally reached over 1,000 subscribers on Tim Reynolds Show. Woo! And it's all thanks to you guys. Really appreciate everyone's support. To be honest with you, I'm really happy to see the progress we're making here on this live stream. Been streaming now for 31 minutes. We got 25 views, 4 likes. Let's keep it going, man. Let's keep it going. All right, so we got guys in the pits now. As you see there on the tracker.
Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay.
And we'll see who can come out ahead here with some fast pit stops.
84 laps complete. We're under caution because Ty Dillon had a right rear tire going down, had planned to come to pit road, but had a sudden air loss before he could get there. Pit road is open.
And here we go. Joey Logano leads the drivers into pit road.
Joey Logano leads them down. He's led 19 laps today.
And Joey Logano has led 19 laps today and just fuel for his 22 Ford. Quick stop there for him, and looks like a lot of other people just taking fuel. We see the number 5 Chevy of Kyle Larson make an adjustment there in the pits. Oh, number two Ford, Austin Cindric, spun out a little bit, and he's going to lose some positions after that. Yep, he does lose a spot. Larson and Ryan Blaney are the big movers. They gain 3 and 4 spots respectively, and William Byron also gains 5 spots on pit road.
Ty Dillon brings out the caution for 85 laps complete. An MSC Cruise
Man, looks like that wreck that brought out the caution was Ty Dillon. He already had a flat tire down in the back, and then the right front tire also blew out. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Please make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Are you ready? Okay. Oh, yeah. Sweet dreams are made of these, so who am I to disagree?
Travel the world in the 7 seas.
Everybody's looking for something. Go, baby! Hey guys, man, make sure you guys hit that like button, dog. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and share this live stream with your friends and families, man. Let's get some more NASCAR fans in the chat, yo. You know what I'm saying, though? Oh! Come on. All right, so after that round of pit stops, everybody just pretty much topped off on gas. We've seen a few drivers make some adjustments. I'm really interested to see how Kyle Larson's adjustment went because he came out of the pits in 8th, was able to gain a lot of spots. Also, William Byron gets himself back into the top 4 after a nice pit stop as well for his team. And Ryan Blaney puts himself back inside the top 10 after a very nice pit stop as well. And guys, we're 1 minute away from 420. Happy 420, everybody. Boom. Ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum. Guys, if you're hanging out watching, hit me up in the chat. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Let's get ready to go, yo. Come on. Happy 420. Whoop, whoop. Uh-oh. I gotta, what? My tushy. All right, chair, hold down the fort. Look at that. Woo, let's go. Waiting for commercial. commercial break, guys. Got to hit the bathroom.
Fourth title, but the rest
There
of
we
the
go.
league is coming for the crown. New season kicks off March 28th on Fox. Here's your aerial coverage of Atlanta Motor Speedway, provided by Goodyear, the best seat in the house since 1925. Happy 100th to the Goodyear blimp.
Do you remember when it was all silver like that?
All silver. I'm not sure.
I don't know if that was in our era or not,
No.
Kevin. It was always the way we see it now.
You're a little older than I am, so I'm not sure.
I was directing that not towards you, the man standing next to you.
Family's having a great time here at Atlanta.
I like that.
Yep.
Checkers or records, baby. Let's go.
Joey Logano in front, Josh Berry second. Then a pair of Chevrolets, Bowman and Byron. Gill in fifth. The first Toyota is Reddick in sixth. Denny Hamlin drove through too many boxes on the way into his pit stall. He will start out back as the drivers approach the Echo Park Automotive restart zone.
How about Alex Bowman on the front row? Let's see what he can do. Not a lot of help so far.
No, he didn't get a great launch, and then Josh Berry was all over the back bumper of Joey Logano, but you see that bottom lane start to get a little more organized. Get even there with Josh Berry. Now, Joey Logano's going to go to work on blocking the inside line.
Already Reddick looking to the outside three wide.
All right, we're back. We're back. And now we got some good racing going on here. Joey Logano in the lead, being battled by Todd Gilliland, number 34, in his Ford, with Alex Bowman now in second place. But we got three wide racing back near 10th and 11th position. Three wide heading into turn number one and coming out of turn number two down the back stretch. Still three wide in the back. Joey Logano holding down the lead, and man, it's starting to get dicey back there. As we're seeing here, they're starting to go two by two. Joey Logano jumping from the bottom to the top lanes to try to block the big push coming from the other drivers, as we see Alex Bowman coming on the high side with his teammate William Byron in the number 24 Chevy right behind him. Alex Bowman now a strong push coming right to the back bumper of Joey Logano. Gives him a big shove after Alex Bowman gets a nice shove from his teammate William Byron. And on the bottom lane, we see Todd Gilliland making a strong move for the lead as he's side by side with the leader, Joey Logano, and his number 22 Ford. And as we head into turn number one, they're still side by side racing hard in the front here. But the front six cars are separating themselves from the pack. But here comes number 5, Kyle Larson, in the 7th position, right behind his teammates, as we see 3 Hendrick Motorsports Chevys now in a tight line, trying to use that draft and get themselves up towards the front. And now we're riding along with number 45. That Toyota, driven by Tyler Reddick, almost gets up into the wall, using all the space he can to get up to the front. Joey Logano still edges out Todd Gilliland in the front row, but Gilliland's making a strong push to get to the lead. As we're here on lap number 93 of 260 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, lap 33 of stage number 2, and Todd Gilliland can't make the pass as Joey Logano remains the leader with Alex Bowman right behind him. As we see on the replay here, we can see Tyler Reddick, just like I mentioned before, scrapes the wall and gets into the wall there as we're exiting turn number 4. And somehow, some way, he's able to hold on to that. Man, that looked very scary for the Toyota driver. And thank you, everybody, for hanging out here on TimReynoldsShow. Guys, hit me up in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button.
The way it comes out of the banking right there and starts to flatten out almost throws you to that outside wall.
And now we see here number 5, Kyle Larson, trying to make a strong push behind his teammate but it's Todd Gilliland who made the nice move to get around Joey Logano, but Logano comes right back with a nice move of his own, but Todd Gilliland's going to be the new leader as we come to the start-finish line. But Joey Logano has his teammate Austin Cindric right behind him and makes a nice strong push to get Joey Logano back to the lead. Behind Todd Gilliland is the number 48 Chevy driven by Alex Bowman. Alex has his teammate William Byron in the number 24 Chevy behind him, and also Kyle Larson in the number 5 Chevy for Hendrick Motorsports right behind him. So 3 Hendrick drivers riding that top line here that has been the fast line throughout this race, but with the temperature changing and the cloud cover coming here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, we're seeing that bottom lane start to be used a lot more often here. As we head into a side-by-side commercial break here, thank you, everybody, for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Appreciate y'all. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. All right, we are side by side as we're about to approach 100 laps down of this race here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And guys, it's been very competitive, clean racing here throughout. As we see on the side by side, oh man, Tyler Reddick, another close move there, almost getting into the back left corner panel of the number 64, driven by Ryan Priest for RFK Racing. Tyler Reddick trying to hold back now as he's got the number 54 Toyota to his left side and the number 20. Oh, and we see here on that replay, it looks like Ryan Priest got a little too high up on the high line and comes down and we were that close to our first big wreck of this race here at Atlanta Motor Speedway as Ryan Priest just barely scrapes the front bumper of the number 45, but he's able to hold on to that number 60 Ford Mustang. And Tyler Reddick's happy to see that as well, and his number 45 Toyota. And that's Tyler Reddick's second close call here in as many laps as we've had after he brushed the wall about maybe 10 laps ago. And there, he almost gets into the left corner panel there of Ryan Priest. So way to go for Ryan and Tyler to be able to hold on to that one. And we got good side-by-side 2-lane racing right now at this drifting track here in Atlanta. Todd Gilliland right now still battling for the lead up front with Joey Logano. But Logano's got help with his teammate Austin Cindric right behind him. And with that nice push there, that pushes Joey Logano right towards the lead. Todd Gilliland moves up to the high line, and he is now right behind the leader, Joey Logano. Oh, man, as we see Ross Chastain and his number 1 Chevy. Oh, we got a spin in the back. Caution's out. Oh, no, and I believe that's the number 43 of Eric Jones, and yes, it is. And that's going to bring out the caution flag there. Man. As we see Eric Jones trying to get moving, but man, when those tires go flat, they're pretty much done. And that's not good for these NASCAR cars because if they can't get back to pit road and they have to be towed, they have to go all the way back to the garage area in order for them to get back into this race.
What happened here?
So we see this was Ross Chastain, very hard move in the middle lane. And oh man, Eric Jones just comes down too hard and gets into the front bumper of the number 17. 17.
Let's watch from Chase Briscoe.
As we're seeing here on the replay, yep.
He knew he was in trouble. You see Riley Herbst move up the racetrack, had to lift a little bit.
And Chris Buescher in the number 17 Ford is the one who got into the left corner panel of the number 43 Toyota Camry for Legacy Motorsports, and Eric Jones goes flying.
Probably thought Herbst was going to hit the wall. Yeah, the angle he was leaving exit turn 2.
As we've seen some good hard racing, the number 1 Chevy of Ross Chastain, makes it 3 wide, and Eric Jones comes from the high lane, tries to come down around the Toyota in front of him, but he doesn't see that somebody else was already in that lane as he comes down, and unfortunately, that's a big mistake to Eric Jones and could knock him out of this race. As we see here on the replay, yep, right there. Tough lick there for the number 43 car.
Does a great job on these super speedways. You can see him lifting right
Seen
there.
right there, number 35 lifts, and so did Eric Jones. But Chris Buescher couldn't see what was happening, obviously, and gets into the left corner panel of the 43, bringing out the caution.
Go to the garage and come back out. Okay.
So Eric Jones brings out the third caution of the day here in Atlanta with 157 laps to go.
They want to take this place from us.
Where are you headed?
Montana.
And that's not good for the number 43 team. As we see, Eric Jones will have to be towed back to the garage area where they should be able to make some repairs and get him back in the race if it is possible. Man, thank you, everybody. Guys, we're up to 80 views on this live stream. Let's go, man. Thank you guys so much. Doing pretty good, right?
Yeah, me too.
Doing pretty good. Yeah, you kicking butt over here?
Yeah.
Do you want to show everybody? So, guys, my wife has been crocheting these for a couple days. How many have you made so far, baby?
This will be number 6.
Number 6. Nice, nice. She's got a lot left to go, but that's a good start. Good start right there for you, baby.
Thanks. I got 18 to make.
18, huh?
Yeah.
That should be fun.
Yeah, it makes me happy. I like hearts.
And Eric Jones does not look happy. As he has to get towed back to the garage area. And hopefully they're able to make some repairs on that number 43 Toyota. Looks like both back tires ended up flat. Doesn't look like he has much body damage, though. So now we will see another round of pit stops here after our third caution of the day. So right now, guys, we'll wait till we get done with the pits here to give you guys an updated tracker here of who's in first and who's in second. That sort of deal.
I don't know.
Hmm?
That just reminds me of that comedian who's in first, who's in second. I don't know who's in third.
That is one of the most funniest jokes I've ever heard of all time, and the fact that you brought that up just proves why you're my wife, because like that is just epic. And that's actually like a baseball joke too, and I'm not even the biggest baseball fan there is, you know what I mean? So
Right. It's freaking hilarious.
I mean, it was just nobody knew what to do. You didn't know whether to be happy. You didn't know whether to cry. You didn't know if you should, be excited, talk about Dale, not talk about Dale. There were so many confusing things that were happening during that time period. And I mean, look at the grandstands. Nobody left. I flipped that car around, and you could hear the fans just screaming.
talk about a memorable moment all those years ago when Kevin Harvick got his first win here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, the year that unfortunately we lost Dale Earnhardt Sr.
I'm sure years later you realize the impact that had, not just on you and your race team, but on all of us.
Yeah, I think when you look back at it now, you realize the impact that it had on really the whole sport, and the meaning of that moment and the magnitude of it really made sense several years down the road. During that time, all we did was race. We tested, we raced, we tested, we raced. So we really hid from all of the questions and things that can be had during a situation like that. But really, when I look back on it, and people always ask, well, what do you think about this moment? You won this race, you did that. I did my biggest press conference at Rockingham that I ever did in my whole career before I even ran a race. Won the biggest race that I was ever going to win in my career right here at Atlanta in our third race. So really everything that happened in my career was backwards, and it all started right here that day.
Well, first of all, I have no idea how you handled that much pressure. You had so
Hell
much
yeah.
pressure on you that
Hats
day.
off
But
to
people,
Kevin
you said
Harvick,
it,
man.
people don't realize
One of the
that you
legends
tested
here
that
in
car
this
a lot.
sport of
You had a lot
NASCAR.
of experience, a lot of time.
Guys, we're almost to 100 views on this live stream.
So
Let's
some
go,
race
guys.
You were at the track a lot with that group and that car in particular.
Yeah, I actually did all the testing for Dale Sr. at that time away from Daytona and Indianapolis. We did all the development testing with Chevrolet at Kentucky. We did all the open tests, and I did all that with Kevin Hamlin and Dale's team during that time period. So I knew the team pretty well.
So they have just come from the choose. Look at the top of our pylon, and that scoring tracker indicates how much green and how much yellow we've been. You see there we're in the third caution of the day for Eric.
All right, guys, so as we're getting ready to restart here, Joey Logano starts in first, and he has led the most laps here, as we've seen 6 different leaders, 16 different lead changes, and cars on the lead lap right now is 36 of the 42 car field.
Chevrolet has led this race. BJ McLeod.
So, Joey Logano in first, Todd Gilliland in the number 34 Ford is in second, Austin Cindric in third, and his number 2 Ford. Bubba Wallace in his number 23 Toyota is in fourth, Alex Bowman in the number 48 Chevy is in fifth, Carson Hocevar in the number 77 Chevy is in sixth, William Byron in the number 24 Chevy is in seventh, Ryan Blaney in 8th, Kyle Larson in 9th, and Chase Elliott round out the top 10. And here we go. Green flag in the air, and we're back to racing. Side by side. 2-lane racing with Joey Logano on the top lane. And in the bottom, we see Todd Gilliland getting a nice push from Alex Bowman in his number 48 Chevy as he pushes Todd Gilliland to the lead. Alex Bowman now in second, riding on the bumper of Todd Gilliland's number 34 Ford. Alex Bowman now in the second position. Joey Logano drops back to third. Very aggressive pushing there from Alex Bowman early on. He started this race in 13th, currently in second. But we see a nice move made there by Joey Logano on the inside, taking the second place position and maybe even retaking the lead. And he does, as the number 22 Penske Ford driver, the defending Cup Series champion, gets pushed his way back into the lead with his teammate Austin Cindric right behind him in the second place position. And now, both Penske drivers here in the number 22 and number 2 Ford regain the lead in second place, as Penske is dominated early on. But we see the number 34 of Todd Gilliland come right back, and he's looking to regain the lead away from Joey Logano. What a race coming out of turn number 2. And Joey Logano gets the benefit of his teammate being right behind him as he gets pushed back towards the front as we head into turn 3 and exit turn 4. But Todd Gilliland is racing his butt off in his number 34 Ford. And now, behind him, it looks like he's got William Byron, the number 24 Chevy, giving him a nice push, which should help. But we see Joey Logano and Austin Cindric take the bottom lane, and then Todd Gilliland heads to the top. William Byron is behind him, and now they have a nice pushing lane going up there.
Well, I think Atlanta's like it's a great track now. It's like the old Daytona before they repaved it. You know, the draft obviously comes into play and it packs up, but as the run goes, cars, you know, they don't drive as good, handling comes into play, and all of a sudden you see the cars that handle really good move up through the field. It's a good mix of drafting and handling, and you got to have both to be successful there.
And Joey Logano telling us how you can win at this racetrack and how competitive and nice it is to race since they reconfigured it. It's almost like a old school Daytona track, as we see Todd Gilliland now battling for the second place position next to Austin Cindric as Joey Logano pulls away near the front of the pack here.
Joey Logano talking about handling at this track.
And we are 2 by 2 here. And how about Joey Logano at Atlanta? 2 wins, tied for first amongst drivers. 2 top 5 finishes, tied for third amongst drivers. 3 top 10 finishes, which is tied for fourth among all active drivers.
Brian told me that they were surprised about the speed that they had in qualifying because they actually came here with a setup that they felt like would race better. If for some reason they got in the pack, last time we were here in the fall, they got in the pack and they couldn't get through the pack. So they were shocked with that. They're looking really good right now.
So Austin Cindric's team, a little surprised at the speed that they're able to have here on this race day. After practice and qualifying didn't show much promise for the number 2 with their setup. But now they're racing in second position here right behind their teammate. And oh, we see 3 wide in the back as Tyler Reddick in the number 45 Toyota makes a move into the middle lane. And the number 5 Chevy, driven by Kyle Larson, gets a nice push to Josh Berry and his number 21 Ford at the bottom lane. We're still 3 wide heading into the start-finish line. And a big push there from the number 6 Brad Keselowski to Kyle Larson as we're seeing a lot of 3 wide racing near the back of the pack. And now we're riding along with Brad Keselowski, who's trying to get up near the front. Very competitive back and forth racing near the back of the pack here right now. A lot of 3 wide racing with Joey Logano and Austin Cindric just pulling ahead.
So, Austin Cindric, I want you to make the block, and I'll stay in front of you so you have my toe.
Yeah, and what he's saying right there is he's going to watch his mirror, and he's just going to go, if he has to block to the bottom, he'll move to the bottom. So Logano is going to do exactly what he said.
And now here we go, Logano and Cindric still holding down first and second position. Alex Bowman and his number 48 Chevy is now in third, and those 3 cars are pulling away from the pack right now. They just must be on a whole different level here with the speed that they're able to carry on this racetrack. Joey Logano just looks so dang fast right now.
Right now that you're seeing those first 3 cars kind of have a breath to breathe and get away from the pack a little bit.
We talked about the first 3.
As we're seeing the pack start to separate themselves, Joey Logano continues to dominate in this race. As we're lap 119 here with 42 laps to go in stage number 2. Now we've seen a lot of these cars broke up, so we don't have your typical drafting track lanes here. Everyone's kind of separated. You see everyone kind of moving around here, and that goes to what Joey Logano said earlier about a lot of people having pretty good handling in this track and feel like they can move around and get a position gain here or there, but it's still a drafting track, so you got to sort of get the draft the way you want it in order for you to get to the front. And guys, we are here on another commercial break at lap 120 of 260 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And we'll currently give you guys the top 10 as we see them here. Joey Logano is in the lead here in his number 22 Ford, and his teammate Austin Cindric in his number 2 Ford for Penske Racing are in first and second place. Alex Bowman in the 48 Chevy for Hendrick Motorsports is in third. Todd Gilliland is in the 4th place position in his number 34 Ford right now. We see Carson Hocevar with a nice run here in his number 77 Chevy, rounds out the top 5 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Josh Berry driving very, very well after winning stage 1. He is in 6th place right now in his number 21 Ford for the Wood Brothers. Bubba Wallace is in the 7th position here in his number 23 Toyota. Kyle Larson just moved up from 8th to 7th here And Chase Elliott rounds out the top 10 in his number 9 Chevy for Hendrick Motorsports. All right, guys, there we go. We've reached over 100 views on this live stream. Let's effing go. Hey, give me that, baby. Woo! Woo! Thank you, babe. Thank you, babe. You want to turn that heat up a little bit for me? My knees are getting a little cold.
It is chilly in here. I got a blanket on.
Yeah, I see you do. All right, we're still side by side, waiting to come back from commercial break. But right now, we are seeing the front of the pack start to separate themselves. But at position 7th and back, we're starting to see them start making the drafting lanes they need to make in order for them to get back towards the front. Right now, it seems like the bottom lane is the one that's getting together here for the most part. That top lane was the fast lane early on in this race, but now as the cloud cover and weather changes here at Atlanta, it looks like that bottom lane is starting to become the more popular lane for a lot of these drivers. Really good, clean, hard racing throughout this race thus far. Thank you, everybody who's watching. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.
Austin Cindric for 30 laps.
And now we're back here.
Todd Gilliland for 7, all in fours.
And Joey Logano continues to dominate as we see a 4-car front start to pull away from the rest of the pack. With the number 48 Chevy of Alex Bowman and the number 34 Ford of Todd Gilliland rounding out those top 4 cars. But behind them, there is a strong pack of cars that are trying to get in their drafting lanes as we see Kyle Larson and Carson Hocevar and their Chevys lead that second pack there.
Watching this. Here, go ahead, Mike. Just call it. The 3 wide racing back there, the grunts, they keep getting bigger and bigger and stronger, and now they're starting to get in front of them and try to block them.
Now, Christopher Bell just backed up about 4 rows. He was in the midst of all that. And not sure if something happened with his car or things just got too close for comfort.
The thing that happens is you get in a position right there where like a Kyle Busch or somebody, a car will slide up in front of you or somebody checks up. But in his case, I'm sure he had to lift because the front end probably took off up the racetrack. And
the number 19 Toyota of Chase Briscoe has to get out of the gas as he comes up behind his teammate, number 20, Christopher Bell, who's trying to work his way back up towards the front after having to get out of the gas.
And foot cam.
Well, this is what you want. You want to have your foot just mashed on the gas pedal right there and just go ahead and hold her down because we're leading this race. And that's the difference between being in the middle of the pack and when we get later into this scenario where he has to deal with some people or traffic.
And we are watching the feed of Joey Logano here, who has led 58 laps of 128 here in this race. As you see, he is just hammering the gas. And his number 22 Ford is fast today. Topping out at 180 miles an hour on this super speedway track, 181 miles an hour. Ooh, that fast. But as we're seeing here on the throttle, though, Joey Logano is actually holding the throttle about 10% back, which is actually allowing him to save some gas, even though he's in the lead right now. So very clever racing from the veteran there. The 3-time Cup Series champion shows why he's a big veteran here at this racetrack and in the NASCAR Cup Series. And a lap 131 of 260 as we have reached halfway here at this racetrack.
Just lift bail completely out of gas. Listen to Keselowski here. Here he's starting to breathe the throttle. Now watch this run as he approaches these cars getting into one.
Yeah, these cars had to check up, and that bottom lane is off the pace. So massive run.
And we watch here as it's happening to us in real time. The number 6 Ford, driven by Brian Keselowski, in 12th spot, able to make a strong push to try to get up to the front of the pack because everybody else has to sort of get out of the gas. As we head in here to turn 4, we see he'll get another big, strong run, trying to get towards the front of the pack. And guys, right now, Joey Logano continues to dominate.
Totally fan out to try to keep some clean air on the nose of the turn.
Joey Logano and Austin Cindric are edging away from the field. They have half a second on Bowman, Gilliland, Larson, Hocevar, and the rest of this field.
$500,000 square miles of the U.S.
All right, guys, so we're at another commercial break. Uh-oh! Oh, no! No! The number 34 Ford of Todd Gilliland, who's been racing tremendously good all day long, has a flat tire, and we're still green. No caution has come out yet, but they're going to probably check, and there comes the caution. Debris on the track after that flat tire from the number 34 Ford of Todd Gilliland, and that is a bad break for him and his squad. And thank goodness he's able to drive that thing back into the pits. So hopefully that means in pit road they can make some repairs and get him back out there. That's such a disappointing timing for that caution because the number 34 has been driving great all day long. As you can see, they wasted zero time there just changing the tires. Gilliland was able to keep it off the wall, and now he's back out on the race already. But man, that's a tough blow for him.
Ooh, the tire is gone.
Yep, that tire is gone. He was riding on the rim in that one. Caution is out at lap 136. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And hit me up in the chat, guys. Let's get the chat popping off if you all appreciate you. Thank you so much for hanging out here today. Nice, babe. Sounds like you're doing good.
Yeah.
Fire come out of the pipes.
Oh!
And did a great job not getting
And now we see here
wall.
on the replay that the tire just went down out of nowhere for the number 34 Ford, and somehow he's able to hold on to it and keep that car out of the wall. That's a big save there from Todd Gilliland. As we see the tire shred up there.
But if you did, you would not want to be 2 laps down.
He will be the only car 1 lap down when we resume. Now, the difference is real for race fans here at Atlanta Motor Speedway as Chipotle hosted Camper Appreciation Night.
What?
That's not fair.
What the hell? I want to do that.
He stopped by to roll burritos, sign some autographs.
There was Chipotle at the racetrack.
And even had his own bowl delivered.
Last week in Daytona, they had a Wendy's built
Fed
there.
over 500 of our infield campers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they got the Blaney Bowl.
Look at Ryan Blaney.
Chicken and steak.
The 2023
I love burritos.
NASCAR Cup Series champion.
Yeah.
Good.
There to help
Great
them
to have Chipotle
make
here
some
at
food.
racetrack.
Real food for real fans.
Hell yeah.
Man, now Chipotle making me hungry.
What would you like to do here?
Well, we're seeing exactly what I thought we would see. We're going to go back racing with about 20 laps to go. For the most part, everyone could make it on fuel. But these guys that are pitting, what they're doing, they're going to probably get their 4 tires
Okay.
here, and they maybe will just
So
get
we got
fuel
some pit
only
strategy
at the end of
making
stage 2,
its way
where
here.
These guys that stayed out, they're going after those
As we
stage
see,
two,
most of the
maybe a
leaders
stage win.
stayed out,
They're
but the back
stopping
of the
pretty
field
slow
is
to the
coming in
stage
for
2,
tires
doing
and
4 tires
gas
in field. This is
ahead
where
of the
it
end of
really
this
gets doubled
stage,
up.
which means they're going to try to split the stages up with their gas mileage here, which could either help them or could hurt them. But we'll have to see how those strategies play out here in the rest of this race. The first person in the pits was my pick to win this race. My guy, Chase Elliott, in the number 9 Chevy for Hendrick Motorsports, leads a group of cars in the back that are going to get tires and fuel now to hopefully split things up as far as the stages go. I mean, more than likely, this will not be our last caution. It seems like the tires are taking a pretty big beating already. Our last 2 cautions are just from down tires, not any big wrecks or anything, which is a good sign. That's what you want. You don't want to see these cars get all beat up or somebody get hurt. But man, Joey Logano is dominating this race early on. And that's a good sign. It looks like the number 43 Toyota of Eric Jones for Legacy Motor Club was able to get back out on the track. He brought out the previous caution after getting in to someone's right front quarter panel, trying to come down on the track, didn't see them, and unfortunately had 2 flat tires. Not very much damage after that caution, but he did have to get towed back to the garage, which means more than likely he's going to be down quite a few laps here as he's back on the track. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Appreciate y'all. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Hey, baby.
Yeah.
I need another beverage.
Okay. Do you care what you want?
I want a beer. It's NASCAR racing. I need a beer. Especially with that hat on. I mean, come on. Am I supposed to just ignore that hat? You know what I'm saying? Guys, look at this, man. It's an artist. Baby, that's so awesome. Give me that. I'm so proud of you. Way to go. Damn, guys. Guys, look at this. Look at this, guys. She's stacking them. Look at that. Dude, she handmade all these, guys. Unbelievable. Baby, you're so talented. You're welcome. All right, guys. Man, we doing good here on this live stream. Come on, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Not going to lie, guys. We don't get to stream very often on the computer. And with the NASCAR race, I want to be able to get you guys the tracker like you see here. I want to get that tracker for you guys so you kind of see the cars going around the track, what the track looks like, who the top 5 is there. Obviously, if I could get you guys the top 10, I would try to do that. But right now, just the top 5, you can see that's listed there. Appreciate everybody hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. I've always been a big fan of NASCAR. And this is a dream come true to be able to do this with you guys. Seriously.
At lap 38, so they ended up bringing it into the garage. They swapped out a pump, and now he's back out on the track.
Uh-oh.
Pretty cool to see this new DVP rule in effect. These teams can go back to the garage, make a change, and come back out, and their day is not over.
Yeah, and he's made up a couple laps, putting himself back in position after he came back out of the garage. Now there's some other guys there.
Yeah, he was
so Michael McDowell in the number 71 Chevy had to go back to the garage area to swap out a pump. He was down 5 laps, but he's been able to get a couple of laps back now, and he's only down 3 laps. So a good turnaround there for that driver and that team.
Caution is not charged to a particular car.
It's really nice to see that NASCAR changes these rules so that way these drivers can be able to go back in the garage area and make some repairs and still be able to come back out on the track for valuable points that they need.
Lady Byron, Wallace, Berry,
And the
Keselowski
pace
in the
car
top
drives
10
away
shoes.
as we see
Still have
Joey Logano and Alex Bowman on the front row.
As we come to the Echo Park.
And we hear on the restart, and here we go. Back racing, boys! And Joey Logano once again gets a beautiful push by his teammate Austin Cindric, who pushes him towards the lead. But Alex Bowman is hot on his tail with his teammate, the number 5 Chevy of Kyle Larson. They're on the top lane, and oh, Joey Logano goes for the block, but Alex Bowman was able to get around it. And now Alex Bowman trying to contend for the lead. With his teammate behind him, Kyle Larson, Alex Bowman comes to the finish line here in the lead here at lap 142. He takes the lead away from Joey Logano, but Logano battles right back here as we exit turn number 2. As we are side by side, 6 cars back, 8 cars back. And the drafting lanes are starting to come up big here as they're 3 wide near the back of the pack as we head into turn number 4 here, coming down the front stretch. Alex Bowman once again continues to hold on to the lead position with his teammate Kyle Larson in the number 5 Chevy pushing him towards the lead. But Joey Logano has his teammate Austin Cindric in the number 2 Ford right behind him. And Ryan Blaney is in the top lane right behind Kyle Larson. So you know that Ryan Blaney's going to try to make it to that bottom row if he can. But another nice run here by the number 77 of Carson Hocevar, who's in the top 6 right now, trying to push for the top 5 position. He's right behind Austin Cindric, who's right behind the leader. And we're 2 by 2 all the way back to 10th and 11th place here. And there's Chase Elliott, who was the first car to pit to get a new set of tires and some fuel. And he's picking his way towards the front.
The radio transmit button, the source of his anger chiefly, Carson Hocevar.
Well, and a bad pit stop put him in that bad mood. Now he's back there in bad traffic, racing hard, trying to claw back up to the front. I can understand his frustration.
Well, we've just seen a lot of mistakes out of that 8 team, and they've had chances to win races. So I'm with you, Clint. I can definitely understand his frustration.
It doesn't matter. Going to clean that off.
We're 3 wide heading here into the tri-oval front stretch area with Danny Hamlin back there near 20th place trying to battle to get up towards the top 15. 3 wide as we exit turn 2, riding along Tyler Reddick, who's in 13th place. Chase Briscoe to the inside of him. And oh, there goes Chase Briscoe inside of the number 8 Chevy, who had to back off as the number 45 Toyota went around him to make it 3 wide, exiting corner number 4, going down the front stretch. And that drops Kyle Busch all the way back to 14th position when he was in the 11th position. Oh, and we see the number 47 Chevy get really close to Ryan Blaney as we go 3 wide heading into turn number 3. And as we come out of turn number 3, we still got 3 wide near the back of the pack. But up near the front, it's Alex Bowman, still driving very hard to keep the lead away from Joey Logano. And Logano continues to push the 48 Chevy lap after lap. And now we see here Alex Bowman and Joey Logano continue to fight, but we got 3 wide racing. 4 wide it looks like as Carson Hocevar in his number 77 Chevy drifts up to the top of the racetrack, and we're 3 wide as we come across the start-finish line. And now we see Kyle Larson get down towards the bottom after a nice push from his teammate, the number 24 Chevy of William Byron. And oh man, it's tight quarters back there in 11th and 12th place as the number 47 Chevy's on the inside of the number 9 Chevy of Chase Elliott, as Ricky Stenhouse Jr. tries to hold it 3 wide heading into turn number 3 and exiting. Oh, there's contact, and Chase Elliott's into the wall. And that 3 wide racing. Oh, and Chase Elliott is spinning, and Brad Keselowski gets caught up in the wreck as well. And we got our first big wreck of this one. And man, I seen that happening, and Chase Elliott cannot be happy after that. And neither is Brad Keselowski, as he took some big damage in that one. And we see here, I mentioned it right before this wreck happened, and oh man, the back toe link is broken on the number 9. That could pretty much be the end of his day. So it looks like my winner to pick to win the whole thing.
Oh no, he crashed.
Yeah.
Briscoe and Stenhouse may have had contact that precipitated this, and the Georgia home crowd is not happy.
Yeah, the Georgia hometown crowd is not happy. Chase Elliott, a Georgia raised boy. And there goes Brad Keselowski. Looks like his day might be done as the net is down. So here on the replay, it got 3 wide heading into turn number 3. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is in the middle lane, and Ryan Blaney comes down in front of him, which forces Ricky Stenhouse Jr. to come down as some well, and he gets into the number 19 Toyota of Chase Briscoe, and that just has a ripple effect that unfortunately Chase Elliott, who was on the outside of the number 47 Chevy, gets caught up in that. He hits into the wall, can't hold on to it, and then bam, runs into the number 01. I'm not sure who that is. And then Brad Keselowski catches the worst of it.
Yeah, it looked like the right rear toe link was on the 9.
You can see that's just steering the car all over the place. Right rear is turned sideways.
It looks like Brad Keselowski got hit not once but twice. And more than likely, this is going to be the end of the day for the number 6 Ford and the number 9 Chevy.
How far it moved his
And here we're right along Tyre Reddick as we see the number 47 Chevy get into Chase Briscoe and then get into the number 9 of Elliott. And he's not going to be happy about that.
Yeah, and that's
aggressive racing from the number 47
was coming down the racetrack
of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And the toe link looks like on the number 9 was broken immediately after he got into the wall. And that's more than likely going to end his day and the day of the number 6 Ford.
Sounds about right. Hit that toe link and I couldn't get it straight. 47 got us in the left rear there. I don't know if he got pushed up the hill or what.
Trey Poole, the spotter.
That is a very tough break, not only for Brad Keselowski, but also for the number 9 Chevy racing team for Hendrick Motorsports.
You know, I think even next week is kind of one of those wild card races. Going to 2 super speedways and a road course the first 3 weeks.
Oh yeah.
When we get to Phoenix and they reset these points, we're going to have to find the back of the garage with some of these cars
you can smell it
buried in the points, and that's the worst place in the world to start the season.
Now let's remind you of the new policy. If the car is towed from the accident scene, it has to be towed to the garage area where the team can make repairs and, if possible, return to the race.
Looks to me like they're taking it to the infield.
Well, it's through the road course. Maybe it's a long way around. Let's take a closer look at that toe link on the number 9 car with crew chief Larry McReynolds.
Well, let's go to our Toyota cutaway car and let's show you what the toe link is in the rear of the car. There's one on the left rear and the right rear. Remember, independent rear suspension. The toe link isn't like a mini tie rod in the rear. It's the red piece you see there. Very easy to change out. You have a bolt on each side, but a lot of times that thing will get so mangled they have to take a torch and cut it out. But no question, if that's the only major damage they have, they can easily get him back out there. You see, put a new one in there, put the bolts back in, and go back racing.
I think you're spot on there, and I think they're going to do it on pit road. I don't even think they're going to do it in the garage area. They're going to stay on pit road, get this fixed, and maybe take a chance of getting back out there. Got to meet minimum.
And we see here the number 9 pit crew trying to get the toe link fixed that broke on the number 9 after that last caution. They're going to try to do it in the pits as we have 8 laps to go here until the end of this stage number 2.
and they have to complete repair within that time, get back on track, or go to the garage where they can continue to work on it.
I like this adjustment. That rule needed to be done. Saw too many people have DNS last year for a flat tire or one of those toe links being bent or broke. Take them out of the race.
Joey Logano out front. He's led 78 laps, and he has passed Denny Hamlin for most laps led on drafting tracks among active drivers. Fox has all your motorsports covered, all your favorites. Here's a look at what's around the turn. Next Sunday, Fox's inaugural NTT IndyCar race from St. Pete, 12 Eastern, followed by our coverage of the NASCAR Cup Series from Austin, Texas at 2:30 p.m.
So
Eastern
next
time.
week, guys, we head to Austin, Texas, where the NASCAR Cup Series will be racing March 2nd at 2:30 on Fox, and that should be one hell of a race there in Austin. I believe that is our first
It's a lot of racing, Mike.
It is, and all on Fox.
road course.
Family of networks. So 7 to go in stage 2. The final stage, like this one, will be 100 laps.
So what are we doing here, Larry? Do we want the points or do we want the
Oh,
position when we
yeah.
get done with this stage?
Baby.
This is going to be all over the place.
Next week,
I promise you.
NASCAR is
We're gonna
going
go back
racing
with
at
less than
Circuit
5
of
to go.
Americas
I
in
think your
Austin,
leaders up there,
Texas, our
Logano,
first
Cindric,
road
Romo,
course of
Larson,
the year.
They're going to stay out. They're trying to win this stage. But if I'm back
And
outside
Joey
the top 10,
Logano
I'm coming right now.
in the
Whether I'm
lead
10 o'clock
has
or
led
not,
79 of
I'm 4 times old,
154
I'm filling it up with fuel,
laps.
and I'm actually going to stay out at the end of the stage.
Thanks,
like
Larry.
that.
Now, of the cars that recently stopped for fuel and tires, Chase Briscoe is the highest up in the running order in 9th. Justin Haley in 10th, Tyler Reddick in 11th.
Thank you, everybody, for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Please, guys, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And Carson Hocevar with a nice run here in his number 77 Chevy.
Almost 70 laps ago. Here come most of them.
Right now in the top 5 position. And we'll see a lot of cars in the back of the pack try to get...
Logano and Cindric and those guys that stayed out to have to go through.
So from 9th on back, most of them come to pit road. So Chase Briscoe, even though
try to get
just on
some pits,
17 laps ago,
go into the pits to try to get some work done. And here we go, guys. Maybe I got to do it by the mic. Ready?
Laps to go in stage 2. There will be a green
to the green and yeah, that's a perfect pop right there for a perfect day. What you know? Hey, what's up, everybody? Let's go and welcome to the Tim Reynolds Show. Cheers, guys.
Hey, Meta, play my gallery music.
And we see the fans, the Chase Elliott fans, in the stands there in Atlanta, Georgia, not happy. Not happy one bit. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Chat's been kind of quiet today.
Yeah.
Kind of surprised. Got some decent views, but quiet chat.
They're just listening to you.
I guess so. A lot of commercials with these NASCAR races. All right, guys, when we go green, we will have 4 laps to go here in stage number 2 before we reach the final stage of the race. What can I say? I got cold knees, man. I got cold knees.
Well, you told me to turn the heat down.
I know.
You want my blanket?
No?
No.
Hey, are you using it?
I might.
Doesn't look like you're using it now. Ooh, fancy. Let's go, man. We got 5 people watching this live stream. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hi, everybody. Thanks for hanging out here, man. We about to go racing again with 4 laps to go. The caution lights are off of the caution car. Joey Logano is the leader. He chose the inside lane with Austin Cindric, his teammate, right behind him. But Alex Bowman, who's now in second position, chose the top lane. And he's got his teammate, Kyle Larson, right behind him.
155 complete, 105 to go. We're coming to the end of stage number 2 in Atlanta. Always a good time to be had by the big crowd on hand.
And
here.
25 years of NASCAR racing on Fox.
Everybody who comes to Atlanta knows that the Henry County Sheriff's Department sits there right at the entrance to that Lake Talmadge subdivision, and they have radar. And I know you and our director, Artie Kempner, know them firsthand.
Artie told me he wasn't speeding. Well, maybe 9 over. That's speeding, Artie.
And here we go, back underway with 4 laps to go here in stage number 2.
You see them all fire off.
And now, oh man, we got some
Restart zone again, and
squiggly cars in the back there. It looked like a caution was about to come out or a wreck was about to happen. But somehow they hold on to it back there in the pack. But man, people are getting wild as we see the number 47 Chevy now makes it 3 wide near the back of the pack. Joey Logano pushes away towards the lead here.
This is where Joey's gonna have
Such a powerful car Joey's got. So fast. He's able to get up there into the lead and dictate which lane he wants to be in as he jumps down towards the bottom in front of his teammate. But Alex Bowman in the number 48 Chevy on the high side with a nice run here coming out of turn number 2. And here comes Kyle Larson with the big push to his teammate as the number 5 Chevy pushes the number 48 Chevy. Alex Bowman out in front. And now Alex Bowman, with 2 laps to go in this stage number 2, has the lead. Can he hold on to it? He jumps down to the bottom to block Joey Logano. Kyle Larson remains on the top lane, and he's pulling up side by side next to Joey Logano. And Kyle Larson having a strong run on the top. Gets a big push there by the number 23 Toyota of Bubba Wallace. And we see in a huge block back at about 8th place there with Carson Hocevar stopped Ryan Blaney from getting up past him. And now after a huge push from Joey Logano to the back of the 48 propels himself into the lead. But Carson, I should say Larson, his teammate, comes side by side, but Joey Logano splits the difference and makes it 3 wide as we head into turn number 3. And now the 48 is dropping back, but the number 5 Chevy, driven by Kyle Larson, is going to win stage number 2 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
He ain't gonna listen to the naysayers much. He's going to fix it. And they got the stage points that they needed. Got a lot of pressure on.
And a nice stage win here from Kyle Larson. Much needed for him and his Hendrick Motorsports team.
Keselowski checked and released from the infield carrot center. Looked like you were battling to get track position quite a bit today, and then it just landed in your lap there, huh?
Yeah, I got up to top 10 there, Regan, and on the restart there, I guess somebody, it looked like got in a 9 car and put him in the fence, and I slowed for that, lost a bunch of spots, and then a little bit later down, it appears that he broke a toe link. I don't think there's really anything you can do about that. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, he broke a toe link. I saw it initially, and I'm like, all right, he's fine. I started to go, and as soon as I went, it popped right in front of me. Just kind of know where to go. Broke the radiator. So hate it for everybody on our team, but that's part of racing, and I'm excited about some of the speed and promise we've shown. We just got to get the result.
Thanks, Brad.
And Brad Keselowski checked on in the infield care center there as his day is officially done after that wreck with the number 9 Chevy of Chase Elliott. Excuse me. Yep. It's a beer burp, beer burp. Together forever, together we are. Dr. Pepper brings us all together. Cheers to you guys out there, man. It's NASCAR racing time, you know what I'm saying? NASCAR, yeah, boy. All right, guys, we made it about halfway through here now. At the end of stage number 2, Kyle Larson is your winner to get his first stage win of the season. And also, nice little bounce back for him as he struggled at these super speedway type tracks throughout his racing career. So, hopefully, he's able to, keep it going. And thank you, everybody, for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Guys, do not forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And hit me up in the chat. Let me know what you guys think of the race so far. Let me know who you guys think's going to win this thing. Right now, Joey Logano is dominating early on in this race, leading over half the laps so far. But still a lot of racing left to go, folks. Still a lot of racing left to go. How are you doing?
Good.
It's nice having you hang out in here with me. Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Good.
Yeah. You guys enjoying the wife hanging out? I think she's great company. It's better than hanging out in here by myself. You know what I'm saying? Together forever, yeah, we are. Buggity, buggity, buggity. Let's go racing, boys. Oh, we gotta adjust the camera a little bit. There we go. Appreciate everybody for hanging out here on the channel. We got 4 likes. Let's see if we can get that up higher, guys. Make sure you're smashing that like button as we're coming back from commercial break here.
Take a look at today's big move, sponsored by Pods.
Yeah, you see Kyle Larson coming to the white flag right here, side by side with his teammate Alex Bowman. Joey Logano gives the 48 a big shot, but the tops connected a little bit better. And as we come off of turn 2 right here, Joey Logano is going to decide that he's going to make it 3 wide. And you can really see the speed of that car as Bowman gets out there. He just pulls down and drives by the 48 of Alex Bowman. And that gives Kyle Larson enough room to get out front. And then Bubba Wallace had to take his car up the racetrack right there. Didn't want to turn his steering wheel.
Yeah, it looked like it got loose on him.
And Bubba Wallace ends up finishing second at the end of that stage, gets some crucial stage points, and that is Kyle Larson's first stage win at a drafting track.
And the tires are going to be in the front.
And his 63rd career stage win in his Cup Series racing career. But now, here is where pit strategy is going to come into play.
Was Tyler Reddick.
Because we are going to see a handful of drivers remain on the racetrack instead of pitting.
On the radio, pretty happy overall. Wants to be just a little bit tighter for this 3rd and final stage. They'll do that with an air pressure adjustment, 4 tires, and they'll fill them up. On the other hand, Kyle Larson from 17th to get the stage win on the radio. He said, yay! He knew the accomplishment in getting it done on a draft-style track. Doesn't want to adjust on it. He's kind of right on the border, not too
Looks like
tight,
kind of
not
a
too
slow
loose.
stop here
So
for the number 22 Penske Ford Racing team for Joey Logano. And a fast stop there for Kyle Larson, but man, looks like the gas man almost got pulled out of the pit box there. Oh, and it's a battle here in pit road, as it looks like Tyler Reddick is the one who comes out in second.
Saw those teams waiting on that fuel. Make sure it's full.
And Joey Logano loses a lot of spots on pit road. A slow stop for him and his team. And he'll have to make up for it with his fast number 22 Ford as we come back here from commercial break after that caution at the end of stage number 2. So now, in the front of the pack, we have cars that remained out instead of pitting, and that includes Chase Briscoe, John Hunter Nemechek, both Toyotas, and then John Hunter in the number 42 Toyota, Chase Briscoe in the number 19 Toyota. Ross Chastain is the first Chevy in third place in his number 1 car. Shane Van Gisbergen, his teammate, is also in the top 5 in his number 88 Chevy for Trackhouse Racing. Riley Herbst, the rookie, is in 5th spot in his number 35 Toyota for 2311 Racing. And then Kyle Busch is in number 8th position here and his number 8 Chevy. Zane Smith is in 7th place in his number 38 Ford. Chris Buescher in number 8th spot with his number 17 Ford. Austin Dillon in the number 9th spot here in his number 3 Chevy. And then Justin Haley rounds out the top 10 here in his number 7 Chevy. And as far as the first person off pit road, Kyle Larson will restart in the 18th position. So a lot of those cars that pitted are going to start 20th and further back. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Baby, can you hold the chat down for a minute? I gotta go hit the restroom.
Oh, I messed up, so I have to start over.
Oh, well, that happens, baby. Ain't none of us perfect. All right. Be right back. Beer's hitting me already. Go ahead. Go see Mommy.
Hey, Charlie. Hi. What's up? How's my hot dog? Charlie, you want to give Mommy a hug? Give Mommy a hug? Oh, how about a kiss instead? Oh, mwah. Yes. Yes. You're a good boy. We couldn't quite steal your spot, so we stole the next best thing.
Yeah, whatever. It happens.
Yeah, great to see Josh Berry put it together.
How many
in
laps do
stage
we
one.
have left?
Right here
We
you see
have
contact from Chris Buescher,
just
Terry
under
Jones
100
out,
laps left to go.
26 laps down.
93 to be exact.
Yeah, Ford's had the 10 of the first 11 starting spots. Todd Gilliland
It should go by pretty fast because we haven't had very many
What a
cautions.
run
So
Gilliland had going. Unfortunately,
I'd say
blew
within
that
the next
tire. He's not
hour,
out
we'll
of this,
probably be
though.
done racing
Right here
here.
is the big wreck of the day. You see Chase Elliott had some contact from Stenhouse,
Yeah.
who actually had
Let's take
contact
it for
from
dinner.
Briscoe, ends up taking Brad Keselowski out, said his radiator was tore. But this is a story. When we talked about Kyle Larson in our pre-race show, like, what does he need to do? He showed us right here, Chris. He's just got to put it together for the rest of the race.
Yeah, after Jeff Gordon on the radio last week talking about
Hi,
his
buddy
frustration,
boy.
also in developing.
Hi,
So he's
Charlie
been in the top
Brown.
10 all day.
Yes,
Has
that's a good
Larson,
boy.
but Carson Hocevar
Just a good
has a
boy.
chance, Rookie of the Year last year for his first Cup win.
Why? Do you want to come up here, Daddy's lap? Is that it?
Today, but he's
Oh, buddy.
put this car in the right position. He's been in the middle a lot today, kind of forcing the issue. If he can put the whole race together, this guy could be a
That's
factor
a
when it's all
good
said and done.
boy.
Yeah, he got Kyle
That's a
Busch when we
good
heard on the
boy.
radio, Cal, but I had enough of his. And then there were other words that it's getting loud.
Repeat
I
those,
can't say that. Let's go back to the guys in the booth.
And we see, according to reports, a lot of drivers are not happy with Carson Hocevar.
After the choose, there is Ross Chastain. Up front for the first time today, alongside Chase Briscoe.
And now we got a bunch of new contenders here near the front of the pack. After that pit, after stage number 2, Chase Briscoe now is in first. John Hunter Nemechek in his number 42 Toyota is in second. Riley Herbstreit in number 5th position. And Danny Hamlin is in the number 11 spot in his Toyota. And those are the top 5 Toyotas here in this one. As we're getting ready to restart here with 169 laps down, the number 1 Chevy of Ross Chastain has the lead with Chase Briscoe. And here we go. We are back racing here with the green flag out. Final stage of this race at Atlanta. And Chase Briscoe drops in front of the number 1 Chevy of Ross Chastain. But Ross Chastain, right on his bumper, makes a nice move after the number 19 gets pushed to the outside. And Ross Chastain's going to get pushed towards the front by his teammate Shane Van Gisbergen, the rookie, in his number 88 Chevy for Trackhouse Racing. And now we have a new leader. Ross Chastain in the number 1 Chevy has the lead.
Missed this win last year by 7/1000ths of a second. In that great 3-wide finish.
That or just pay attention to him. And now, Ross Chastain has taken control of this race with his teammate right behind him. The number 1 and the number 88 Chevys, but we also got the veteran, Kyle Busch, up near the front here, as the first 3 cars in this race are all Chevys. And now we got 3 wide near the back of the pack right now.
We saw that they had some of their handling issues just behind
with the Toyotas trying to make some moves. A lot of drivers trying to make some moves in the back of the pack, and it's getting dicey back there just behind Chase Briscoe, who is in the 7th position. Chase Briscoe is really dropping back in this one. He's not able to hold the speed that he'd like to near the front as the Chevys continue to pull away.
As these runs go, their handling gets worse.
Speaking of handling, look how far back Briscoe's already fallen. That outside line just didn't materialize as good as the bottom. Finally getting some help off of Nemechek there.
Yeah, he and Nemechek back in 8th and 10th. Josh Berry was the one.
And Ross Chastain and his number 1 Chevy continue to pull away near the lead as we're seeing 3 wide racing here in the back of the pack with the number 99 Chevy of Daniel Suarez. Oh man, cutting it close near the number 45 Toyota of Tyler Reddick as we came near the front stretch, and we're still 3 wide heading into turn number 1. Tyler Reddick currently in 11th position, holding that bottom line, able to get some nice speed. And oh man, 4 wide down the backstretch. Oh my goodness, Daniel Suarez cut that one close, and he's able to get around the number 5 Chevy of Kyle Larson to get up inside the top 15. Oh, but now a nice run by Kyle Larson as he bumps into number 99, as Suarez now gets a nice shove up towards the front himself. As we see a lot of movement going on near the back of the pack here in this race.
When can you time it right to gain the most spots and then slide into another lane to hope for that situation again?
Logano's one of the best at it. He's stuck in the middle right now, but he's back up into the top 20 in 19th.
This has Trouble City written all over it. 3 wide, 4, 5 deep. Look at him blocking. That's Hocevar up there. That might be McDowell.
Yeah, and the big problems happen right here when the right.
Oh man! And Joey Logano able to avoid what would have been a huge accident there. As they're 3 wide near the back, near 20th place, and Logano avoids disaster. And that's where a lot of the cars are that pitted back near 20th position. And man, once again, Daniel Suarez is cutting it close. They're making it 3 wide heading into turn number 1 and got Joey Logano loose. And now Joey Logano's way up near the top. And he's got a big run, and he bumps right into the back of Tyler Reddick. Gives him a nice shove there.
The lifting that Logano has to do. Now, we saw it earlier today. You saw that foot just flat on the floor. And Now you see him lifting up off the corner, and as he's pumping that throttle, that's to try to run with the front end. And now he's all the way off the throttle, trying to judge that on the brakes.
In on the brakes, yeah.
That just tells you how fast these cars are coming up to the cars in
And
front
Joey
of them.
Logano really having to work the pedals well in this race near the back of the pack. Ross Chastain continues to lead near the front, but we got 3 wide racing near the back of the pack here as we see Joey Logano, Austin Cindric, and Kyle Larson and Alex Bowman all back near the back of the pack trying to get back towards the front. And up near the front, Ross Chastain continues to hold on to the lead. He's now on the bottom lane there with his teammate, Shane Van Gisbergen in the number 88, right behind him. But watch out for Kyle Busch, who's at the top in his number 8 Chevy, and he's got Chris Buescher behind him. And Ross Chastain goes up to the top lane to make a big block on Kyle Busch. And Austin Cindric makes it 3 wide near the back of the pack in between 2 Toyotas, the number 45 and the number 35. Some aggressive racing in the back of the pack as these guys know its time is now to make a move if they're going to make it. As we see on the replay here, Danny Hamlin tried to make a move, and oh man, the number 35 Toyota got into Christopher Bell, the number 20 Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing, as he brushes the wall, and oh man, comes so close to the wall once again, and William Byron, they're coming out of turn number 4.
Well, the top 6 right now have
So we'll wonder how that brush with the wall is going to affect the number 20 Christopher Bell, who currently runs in 14th position. And at the front of the pack, we see Shane Van Gisbergen making his way towards the leader, his teammate, with Kyle Busch right beside him in the number 8 Chevy, making a nice run here. As we've reached lap 181 of this 260-lap race, we're going to crank it up for you guys. There you go, baby. That's high-powered motor racing. Guys, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And they are 3 wide behind the leaders. Chase Briscoe in the number 19 Toyota making a nice run here, getting up to 3rd position. Austin Dillon in his number 3 Chevy making a nice run as well, getting up into the top 5. And Chase Briscoe has now found himself all the way back up near the front in the 2nd place position.
Kyle Busch carrying the Cheddar's onboard camera today. He's up there in the top 5, right with his RCR teammate Austin Dillon in the 3. Busch won the truck race here yesterday.
Oh, and a big wreck in the back as last year's winner Daniel Suarez got caught up in a huge wreck. And he also takes a couple of cars with him. Oh, man, and this will bring out our 7th caution of the day. And that's going to end the day there for Daniel Suarez. And, oh, man. As we see, Custard in the number 41 is out. The number 54 Toyota is also involved.
It hasn't been running the airlift system to get the car off the ground when you have flat tires.
AMR safety team quickly on the scene. Oh, the rear end. Look how bent that rear end is up underneath the sheet metal of Cold Custard.
And that looks like it's going to end the day there for Cold Custard, the number 41 Ford. And, man, the number 99 Chevy of Suarez is mangled up.
Piled in, and there's Ty Gibbs trying to get his car back to the pit so it can be repaired.
Ty Gibbs trying to get his car back to the pits got caught up in that wreck as well. As we see the replay, we'll see what happened. Suarez comes up behind the Toyotas very, very fast. He's getting out of the gas, and Gibbs behind him makes it 3 wide. And oh my goodness, yep, Gibbs gets into Suarez not once but twice. And oh man, and he gets caught up probably another 4 or 5 cars in that wreck.
Yeah, and that whole wreck happened because of the 2 cars of Riley Herbst, and that checkup of Bubba Wallace and Riley caused everybody else to have to go somewhere else.
And we see here riding on board with Gibbs, the number 34 Ford of Todd Gilliland gets loose into the number 54, who then gets into the number 99 Chevy. And that wrecks Daniel Suarez and a handful of other cars in this one. A big wreck.
You could feel the energy, the racing, the vibe was really picking up. The runs were coming harder, the blocks were getting bigger. It was a matter of time. Look at him lift right there.
When they see the he has to lift for the 35 because Riley's car would not hold the bottom.
So Gibbs gets the run, tries to shoot the
You
gap.
see Todd Gilliland there, and his number 34 gets into the 54, who gets into the 99. And then after that, it's just a chain reaction. We see the number 44 and the number 41 also get involved in that wreck. That's going to end their day. The number 51 also gets involved, and that's going to end their day as well.
Big front end damage.
This is a big shot too.
And we see there Ty Gibbs and his reaction after that caution. Not happy with himself, obviously. Tried to be aggressive, get around the number 99 Suarez. But unfortunately, that aggressiveness led to this wreck. And oh man, looks like the number 4 also gets caught up in this. I believe that's Noah Grayson. A lot of cars involved. And that's going to be the end of the day there for Daniel Suarez and his number 99 Chevy. As we see cars involved, Noah Gregson and the number 4 Ford, Zane Smith and his number 38 Ford, J.J. Yaley and his number 44 Ford, Cody Ware in the number 51, and you know the other guys.
Which is about to be a busy place with 74 laps to go in Atlanta.
Hey, baby. I just think it's because you're here why we're having the best live stream I've ever had on my computer.
Hell yeah.
It's all because of you.
I don't know about all that.
Oh, I do. It's okay. You don't have to know because I know.
I love you.
I love you, baby. Hey, guys, thank you, everybody, for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And right now, we've reached up to 6 likes on this live stream. Guys, let's try to make a goal. Let's say, what do you think, babe? We'll do 10? Should we try to make it maybe 15?
Yeah.
15 likes? You think we can get to 15 likes? Okay. Goal accepted. All right, guys, let's try to get to 15 likes on this live stream. And guys, please don't forget, memberships are now live on Tim Reynolds Show, so feel free to sign up if you guys want to, and also feel free to donate at any time that you guys want to Tim Reynolds Show. And hey, we're here for NASCAR racing, boys. That's right, as we've officially reached over 1,000 subscribers on Tim Reynolds Show. Let's fucking go. I'm excited. Thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all. Hey, baby.
Yeah.
I'm going to need a refuel, please. Yes. Get it?
Refuel.
I need a refuel. Instead of refill, I need a refuel.
Clever, babe.
Love you, baby.
Oh, me too.
And shout out to Jags for Life in the chat. Why Stenhouse got to do Chase like that? Depression hitting again. Hey, you got that right. Hey, Jags for Life, man. I picked Chase Elliott to win this race today. I thought he definitely would have a fast car. It's his hometown track, but unfortunately, he gets wrecked out of it. So, I got to go with either my sleeper pick, which is Chase Briscoe, who always races this track very, very well, even though his number 19 Toyota hasn't been that good thus far. And then also, my other pick was Kyle Larson. He's my, or I should say Kyle Busch. He's my veteran pick to win this race. Surviving the super speedways. Yep, that's what everybody's trying to do here as we are at lap 188 of this 260 lap race here.
In the racetrack in the upper left, and defending champ Daniel Suarez is out. Cole Custer being towed to the garage. Chase Briscoe up toward the front. There's Noah Gragson with a lot of damage to his number 4. Now, next Sunday on Fox, the NASCAR Cup Series moves to Austin, Texas. It's the
Hell yeah!
Grand Prix.
Coda!
On the new short course. Well, it's not new, but it's new to us. The short course at
Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix Echo Park Automotive in Austin, Texas. Woo! Guys, I cannot wait to bring you guys that live play-by-play for a road course. Oh, man, it's going to be epic!
Length of the lap out of the racetrack, but it's anytime something changes like that, it's going to change the dynamic of how you race and what you do. So definitely excited. I'm more excited about the third race being a road course after we've had 2 super speedway races. I'm glad I'm not in the car because it adds elements to everything that we do that are just so unique compared to the past.
It's such a nerve-wracking start to a season with 2 super speedways and then the road course, which by the way is new, a whole mile shorter. How about this guy, speaking of road courses? Doing a great job. 30th to 2nd.
Guys, we've reached over 280 views on this live stream. Gotta thank the wifey, man. She made it possible, hanging out here with us for the first time. Let's go.
With 70 laps to go, the Chevys would be running 1-2. You probably could have got long odds on that, but here we are.
And flipping that stage.
Be careful. All right, and looks like we're going to see most of the drivers head to the pits here on this one. This could be the second to last pit stop here for most of these drivers. Man, look at that. Chase Briscoe actually bumping into somebody there as they're trying to make sure they're really right there for these pit stops.
They last pitted on lap 137. That's longer ago than most around him, so they warned him we're going to have to wait longer on fuel than the others. So they're going to make a slight adjustment for tires for him. And right in front of him is Chase Briscoe will come into his pit box. He's pretty much been tight all day, but pretty happy with it as he slides to a stop.
So the leader, Ross Chastain, gets into his pit. Oh, and looks like the number 19 just takes fuel. And he's going to end up coming out with the lead after that. Really nice move there from the number 19, Chase Briscoe. Oh, but Kyle Busch also takes just fuel, and it looks like Kyle Busch is going to make it 10-plus positions to get the lead. And Ryan Blaney, William Byron, and Austin Dillon round out the top 5 with a bunch of movers here back into the top 10. Ryan Blaney in the 4th position jumped up 14 spots to get inside the top 5 there on pit road. Nice strategy going on here as Ryan Blaney ends up coming out 2nd. Now that's going to be
that's as close as last year's finish right there.
That's going to be Chase Briscoe comes out 2nd. William Byron's going to get 3rd. Ryan Blaney's going to get 4th.
Now watch Chase Briscoe launch out of his pit here. Fueler disconnects, big slide. Another car waiting to come in. Out of the way, boys. I'm coming through.
Yeah, and for those of you that watch, we talk about this all the time. These cars do not turn good when they're sitting still or going slow. They feel like you got to turn the wheel 3 times as much compared to when they're at speed.
And I did not know that. I guess these new cars don't turn very well in the pits when they're at a standstill.
That car had been in the wall harder than I thought.
Very interesting.
Details.
Speaking of tires, here's our aerial coverage from Goodyear, celebrating 100 years of a great American icon, the Goodyear blender.
I love the blend. Love the shots. Love everything about it. Have you ever rode in a blend?
No, we covered this last week though.
That you did? I told you I had. I didn't know you
remember
had.
you raced at the same speed as the blend.
Oh my gosh.
You gonna be ready
we
for
went through this last week.
It's ridiculous, Kevin.
It's a little like taking the train. It's a great way to travel if you're in no particular hurry.
No way. I
Less
dig
than
it.
70
It's
laps
so
to go.
fun.
How about Kyle Busch? He has been mired mid-pack most of this race. On the second caution, he took an extra stop to top off the tank. Had a hard time getting up toward the front, and yet here he is out front. Now, he didn't win a race last year, the first time in 2 decades that he had not won a race, but he only missed it by 7/1000ths of a second. Here's a look.
And oh man, last year's race was sick. As somehow Daniel Suarez comes back after being in a caution earlier in the race to win at Atlanta Motor Speedway in the closest race ever in NASCAR Cup Series history. Your 2024 Atlanta Motor Speedway Spring Race winner, Daniel Suarez. And how about 0 wins last season? Snapped 19 season win streak for Kyle Busch, which was the most all time.
Had his team, went to the middle, shot the gap, almost made it happen. Won the truck race yesterday. Something about it feels good. Maybe Kyle Busch's day.
He's going to restart with a Chevy behind him in William Byron.
Yeah, and, I think this puts him in a pit window where you take some of the pit road variables of mistakes and things happen. So this is going to be interesting to see how this all plays out at the end. You see Austin Cindric, one of those Fords, and Blaney in 4th, Austin Cindric in 6th. So it'll be interesting to see if they can keep marching their fast cars back towards the front.
Now, Larry, 4 cars just stopped at the back of the pack to top off on fuel. Are we going to be close?
I mean, we're 69 to go. We're going to go back racing at 68. We should be good to go, Mike. But I think that's just insurance, because never rule out overtime finish at a speedway.
That stage and flipping the end of that sure has put new life in a lot of these teams. I mean, you look back there, and Kyle Busch's teammate, Austin Dillon. I mean, he's right there in the 3 car. Busch, you really haven't seen or heard much of him. He's there.
This just in for Bert Nelmore, our stat boys. The probably most random stat of the day is that 6 of the top 8 have a last name that starts with B.
I thought it was Bert and Ernie.
Or Ernie stayed home.
Oh, that's what they came up with? That's dynamite intel over there. I love it. Well, I got some intel for you. We're going green here, boys. Let's go.
All right, here they come to the Echo Park Automotive Restart Zone. It'll be 68 to go. We're back under green.
And now restart as we're back under green here in this race here at Atlanta Motor Speedway in the 2025 Cup Series Racing. And guys, we see Kyle Busch get pushed to the front here by William Byron. And we got 2 Chevys in the lead, but William Byron makes a move to the outside. He gets a big push from the number 19 Toyota of Chase Briscoe, and he gets pushed right to the lead. As we see William Byron, last week's winner, now retake the lead, but Kyle Busch is making a huge run at the bottom with his teammate Austin Dillon right behind him. But the number 24 Chevy pulls away with the number 19 Toyota of Chase Briscoe right behind him. But Kyle Busch makes a nice strong run heading out of turn number 2. That bottom lane seems like it's slowing down a little bit after being fast. But we see Chase Briscoe makes a move for the lead as he goes down to the bottom lane trying to work William Byron into making a bad move there.
Do not count out Blaney.
Well, the other thing, Clint,
and we got Ryan Blaney in the number 12 Ford in 4th place right behind Chase Briscoe on that top lane. We see them start to go 3 wide near the back of the pack. And we'll see how that goes as we see the man who's dominated most of this race, Joey Logano, right now get really loose and go back up into the middle lane. He's got 3 wide in front of him with Shane Van Gisbergen, Austin Cindric, and Josh Berry making it 3 wide as we see the number 88 Chevy try to get up towards the top 5. And right now it's the number 8 Chevy and the number 24 Chevy up near the front in 1st and 2nd position. And now 3 wide heading here for the top 5 as we see Austin Dillon in his number 3 Chevy for Richard Childress Racing at the bottom lane on the inside of Ryan Blaney to take the 3rd position. And there was a big bump there from the number 2 Ford of Austin Cindric to the back bumper of Chase Briscoe.
Is different than when you have cars.
And now Josh Berry in the number 21 Ford has made it all the way behind the leader, Kyle Busch, giving him a nice push, trying to get him back into the lead. It's a Chevy front row with 2 Fords right behind them, as Ryan Blaney is behind the number 24 Chevy of William Byron in the top lane. As they head into turn number 1, at lap 198, we have over 62 laps left to go in this race. And now 3 wide, heading into out of turn number 2. Joey Logano with Kyle Larson right behind him, splits the difference and gets inside of the number 19 Chase Briscoe, trying to get inside the top 8. And Joey Logano is able to make the pass, and now he's right behind the leading pack of 6 cars. That strong car of Joey Logano makes a move on the inside, makes it 3 wide, once again heading into turn number 1 and exiting out of turn number 2. Joey Logano is right next to his teammate, and now he's in the top 5. 3 wide right behind him with the number 5 of Kyle Larson, right next to the number 88 Chevy of Shane Van Gisbergen, and number 2, Austin Cindric in his Ford Racing Mustang, trying to get up with his teammates, as we see number 4, number 5, and number 6 are all Penske Ford Racing Mustangs. And now 3 wide, heading out of turn number 2 as Ryan Blaney makes a move, and oh my gosh, Shane Van Gisbergen in the number 88 Chevy got loose, but somehow he's able to hold on to it. And we're going Toyota all out as we see 3 wide racing towards the front of the pack as we head down the front stretch.
Just update, Chase Briscoe is making his 2nd start for Jokic Racing, having a pretty good day. They just made a slight air pressure adjustment for
And now we're 3 wide, entering turn number 2 on lap 200. And Chase Briscoe's got a big move on the top lane, getting right up to the bumper of William Byron as he tries to stay inside the top 10. But Ross Chastain in the number 1 Chevy making a nice move to get to the front of the pack.
Briscoe currently 9th. Hamlin has been moving up. There's James Small. And Hamlin into the top 10. There's that number 11 to the inside.
And now 3 wide, heading back towards 10th position as Danny Hamlin tries to make a move on Carson Hocevar. Almost gets into the fender. And now they're 3 wide. Oh, and Hocevar comes down on Denny Hamlin, and Hamlin's got to pull out of the gas, and he drops back about 4 positions. So now Carson Hocevar able to take that momentum on the bottom lane, and he's now behind Austin Cindric, but goes up to the top here. Kyle Larson's going to look to take advantage. Hocevar in the number 77 Chevy all over the place right now in 7th position.
But I feel like they took too much speed out of that, going after the handling aspect of this car, Kevin. I mean, it was almost a second qualifying yesterday.
Well, he never really got a chance to fully let the whole race play out because of the penalty that they had on pit road.
So now we see that bottom lane starting to get together here as they are getting things sorted out all the way to the 10th spot. But Joey Logano makes a move on the inside, makes it 3 wide, heading into turn number 3. Oh, we see Chase Briscoe going to the wall. And guys, Chase somehow is able to hold on to it. Oh my goodness, the number 19 Toyota is wobbly, but Chase Briscoe somehow keeps that thing under wraps. But oh no, we got a caution out now, folks, as we see the number 48 Chevy of Alex Bowman get involved in a huge wreck. The number 17 Ford of Chris Buescher looks to be another one involved in this caution that brings all the drivers to a stop here.
We are under caution for a crash on the front straightaway.
Yeah, and you're going to see it right here with this driver. Here he goes. Chase Briscoe on the outside. Watch the run. He's going to follow suit with Hocevar in front of him, try to get to the outside. Gets tight, gets in the
Chase
wall
Briscoe
there.
gets tight, gets into the wall, and that sends a chain reaction as we see the number 17 get in the middle of the 88 and the 19, and he gets loose, and that ends up with him spinning out and running into the number 88 Chevy. And that's a tough break there, not only for Alex Bowman, but also for Chris Buescher.
Sometimes they get hit in the right front and they just turn.
And Buescher with nowhere to go, caught in between two cars, gets loose, and Alex Bowman is the one who gets involved in the wreck.
Odd that these cars will do that when they get touched.
That's a tough break there for their NASCAR teams. And this all started with Chase Briscoe getting up into the wall, which started a chain reaction behind him.
It was just exactly, SVG was kind of coming up the racetrack.
The number 17 gets smushed by the 88 and the 19. And with that, he comes down, and oh man, the number 45 Toyota barely avoids disaster, but the number 48, unfortunately, gets caught up in the wreck.
Caution of the day. Here's Tyler Reddick's view.
And here's our view from Tyler Reddick. Woo! That was close. So close. A tough break there for the number 48 Chevy of Alex Bowman, who was just at the bottom of it all and could not stop in time. And he gets into the right side, the left side, I should say, of the number 17 Ford of Chris Buescher.
Excuse me, there's more than that.
Eighth caution of the day, and for the first time today, Michael McDowell does not get the free pass. He is on the lead lap. I believe it might be Chase Elliott. We'll double check. All right, now, what happened?
And we also see Ty Gibbs.
Is that the right rear, Kevin?
It sure sounded like it.
Which he had trouble with. Had a toe link issue before. Broke the toe link. Maybe the alignment wasn't right, or he may have run over something.
Yeah, and this is the other side of the DVP policy that we used to have, right? Like you got cars that go back out on the racetrack and have another problem.
Briscoe. And Ginsburg alongside.
Look at them eyeballs.
Cheers, guys.
Glancing over. He knew that was close right there. He could probably feel him in his quarter panel.
So draggy, but it's so slow. Does everything feel all right after getting in the wall? So, like, anything shaking you? I mean, no. Right there, no. Wheel might be a touch off to the left. It's hard to say.
James Small talking to Chase Briscoe. Here's Bowman's car.
Yeah, and Chase's comment goes to exactly what we've been talking about for 2 days now, Clay. His car is slow.
Just talked about it with Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, and you see the benefit of those cars that are fast, or Josh Berry, Ryan Blaney, Austin Cindric.
Thank you everybody for hanging out here on TimReynoldsShow. Please guys, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for the channel.
Regan.
Well, Daniel Suarez out of the event from the previous caution, not the one that just happened, Daniel. It appeared as you guys came off turn 4 like it was just a coming together of cars and things got really tight over there. What took place from your perspective?
I haven't seen the replay yet. Man, I wasn't good enough, man, today. I felt like I didn't know that 54 was there. That was, I think it was on me. I didn't know that the 54 was there. Today we were just not good enough. I mean, we struggled a lot with the balance of the car since the first stage. And we work a lot to try to make it better. We made it better, but never quite the way that we normally are here. But I don't know. We will have to review everything. I know that we brought a little bit different package than before, trying to contemplate the weather because it's quite a bit colder, but it just didn't work out.
Thanks, Daniel.
I think he was pretty hard on himself there. I don't know that all that blame's on him. I think he'll go back and see that at speed and see his reaction to the cars in front of him, much like the wreck we just saw, was a big part of the demise there.
Here's a great example of never give up. Michael McDowell had trouble early. He got the free pass 6 times. Now he's on the lead lap in contention at 19th.
So we do see Alex Bowman in the number 48 Chevy try to make some repairs on pit road, and same for the number 17 Ford of Chris Buescher. Hope everybody's doing well. Right now we're on commercial break. Just waiting. Just waiting. All right, so we're at 52 laps to go here in this race. And we see Chase Elliott, driver of the number 9 Chevy, coming back down pit road as he's going to try to make some more repairs to help out his day after getting caught up in a caution earlier on in the race. And Chase Briscoe also comes down to the pits. As we see Joey Logano, who's back up near the front here, I believe. But right now, your current leader is Josh Berry in the number 21 Ford for the Wood Brothers.
Stage 1, 60 laps, Josh Berry picks up the stage win for the Wood Brothers. Stage 2, Kyle Larson fights his way to the front and wins stage 2 for Hendrick Motorsports. So Ford and Chevrolet. Berry is your leader at the moment, and look who is second and third. Blaney in second, Kyle Busch in third, exactly where they finished to Daniel Suarez here 1 year ago, by the thinnest of margins ever.
Well, this is when that conversation of...
So Josh Berry has led 41 laps today out of 209 laps.
Same cars, time after time on these super speedways, Clint.
So we'll see what he's able to do here with the lead. Sure. With about 50 laps to go, it'll be less than 50 laps to go once we get started back under green.
So reminiscent of watching this race and calling this race.
Thank you everybody for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Please make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And how about Carson Hocevar, driver of the number 77 Chevy, right now in the top 5, having a very strong run here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And Austin Cindric rounds out the top 5. But the guys to watch are Joey Logano in the 6th position in his number 22 Ford, and Kyle Larson, who's in the 8th position right now in his number 5 Chevy. Those two have been very, very strong throughout this race, but don't rule out Ross Chastain. His number 1 Chevy has been very good early on in this one, and he's got a teammate right behind him, Shane Van Gisbergen, in the number 88 Chevy for Trackhouse Racing.
Elliott did get the free pass, so he is back on the lead lap, and we will restart with 27 lead lap cars.
Woo! So 27. It'll be 27 cars on the lead lap when we do get the green flag here with less than 50 laps to go.
Earned today, Bubba Wallace leads the league in that department with 16. 10 for first, as Larson and Berry earned in the 2 stage wins.
Bubba Wallace leads today with stage points gained. William Byron has 15. Bubba Wallace has 16, and those are your 2 top points getters here in this race thus far in the NASCAR Cup Series
Love
point
this racetrack.
standings.
Love the job they did changing this place. I've seen everything I want to see out of a race today, and it's not over.
Well, Busch and Hocevar took different lanes, so we'll have to wait to see how that one plays out. One to go as they choose. Been a lot of dramatics at this speedway. 48 lead changes last spring. That is the track record. We've had 34 today. The final 2 laps, a pass for the win in the final 2 laps for the last 5 races. And again, the closest finish all time, 1, 2, 3. Well, Larry Mack, what do the trends say about whether or not we'll be caution-free to the finish?
I'm glad you asked. I've looked at the 6 races on this new configuration with the Gen 7 car. The average of the last caution lap, 2:46, 14 to go, 3 times in the final 10 laps. And yes, the last time we were here in September, we did go into overtime.
All right, so we'll be watching out here for possibly NASCAR overtime coming up here on this one.
2 Fords en route 2.
As we will have 48 laps to go once we hit the green flag.
And the 5th row. The first Toyota Bell, in fact,
your leader is Josh Berry in the number 21 Ford. Behind him in second place is Ryan Blaney in the number 12 Ford. Kyle Busch in the number 8 Chevy, and Carson Hocevar in the number 77 Chevy. As we're back underway, the green flag is out and we are back racing. And the front of the pack, we have 2 of the Penske Fords pushing hard on the leaders, Kyle Busch and Josh Berry.
Right there, picking that outside row with those 3 Penske.
And they separate themselves from the pack, but behind them is Joey Logano. That number 22 Ford is fast.
Good job. Don't let them to this outside. I don't want those guys to get to the outside.
And man, big shove there from the number 2 Ford to the number 8 Chevy of Kyle Busch, pushing him back up to the front of the lead. And now Kyle Busch has the lead exiting turn number 2 with 47 laps to go in this race. And Kyle drops down to the bottom lane in front of Josh Berry, but Josh Berry moves up to the top lane and takes away the lead from Kyle Busch as we exit turn number 4. They're side by side. Josh Berry with an excellent run here at this Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Wood Brothers. But we see Ross Chastain makes it 3 wide on the bottom as he gets ahead of the number 12 Ford of Ryan Blaney. And now Ross Chastain has himself in the 3rd position right next to Josh Berry as he gets a big push from Ross Chastain. But Kyle Busch comes down to the bottom to block that big move. And now the number 1 Chevy is in prime position as Josh Berry makes a strong push on the outside to get the 2nd spot. Kyle Busch in the lead, dictating how this line runs as he's going from the top to the bottom, trying to block whoever he needs to block to keep the lead.
Derek Nealon, ground traffic control for Kyle Busch, trying to keep him in the front of this field.
That's exactly what I was talking
about. And they got
about.
4 wide behind him as we see the number 20 Toyota of Christopher Bell gets dangerously close to the wall, back in 7th position as he's side by side with Kyle Larson in his number 5 Chevy. And it's been 58 races since Kyle Busch last made it into victory lane. He's hoping to bring that number 8 Chevy back into victory lane here. Now holding on the bottom lane at the bottom of the racetrack as we enter turn 3 and exit out of turn 4. Down the front stretch, Kyle Busch continues to extend his lead here in this NASCAR Cup Series race.
Mired back there in traffic again. Look at him moving.
Now Ross Chastain to the high side, looking to get some momentum, and he's going to pull out in front as Ross Chastain is the new leader of this race at Atlanta Motor Speedway. A big push from Josh Berry in his number 21 Ford has propelled Ross Chastain in his number 1 Chevy for Trackhouse Racing to the lead with 42 laps to go.
It'll be interesting to watch him control the race.
And the Chevys are racing hard here, and Carson Hocevar is now on the bottom lane side by side with Kyle Busch, but a strong run from Ryan Blaney in his number 12 Ford as he gives a nice shove to Kyle Busch to push him up to the lead. And now the pole sitter for this race, Ryan Blaney, has himself inside the top 3 with Josh Berry right behind him, giving him a nice big shove. And oh my goodness, they go 4 wide behind the leaders. 3 wide now, extending all the way back near 10th place. It's getting wild with Carson Hocevar cutting the difference, threading the needle inside the middle lane there, but Ryan Blaney drops down in front of him, but Kyle Busch is the one who gets pushed towards the front. And now it's 3 wide back behind 3rd place position, all the way back to the 20th spot. We are 3 wide here on lap 40 to go. Carson Hocevar right in between Ross Chastain and Christopher Bell. Can he hold on to it? Christopher Bell able to get in front of the 77. Oh, and we see the number 7 loose in the back. Almost caused a wreck as they're 3 wide there, heading towards the front stretch. We're at 39 laps to go. It's getting intense out here, folks.
In the truck race, he did a great job, put himself in position at the end of that.
And now Kyle Busch continues to hold on to the lead as that top lane continues to get themselves together and pull away from the pack. And now Ryan Blaney makes a move on the inside. He's looking to take the lead away from Kyle Busch, but he doesn't quite have the speed he needs to get there. And after that move, Ryan Blaney gets back in line, back behind Kyle Busch on that top line there. But we see Ross Chastain trying to make a move.
In a sea of Chevys and Ford.
This is awesome. Great racing.
Such great racing going on right now. And now Kyle Busch has the lead with Ryan Blaney right on him. But we also see Kyle Larson make his way into the top 5, making it 3 wide behind the top 4 contenders here.
Can't give up the position.
That's where Hocevar is going right now.
And now a big run from the 21 into the number 1 of Ross Chastain on the bottom. And Ross Chastain gets a nice push as he pulls up side by side with the number 12 Ford of Ryan Blaney. But Christopher Bell on that high side makes a move, but Ryan Blaney makes a move on the inside. The number 12 Ford for Penske Racing now has the lead as he takes it away from Kyle Busch. But the number 1 Chevy of Ross Chastain has a big move as well as we see Kyle Busch have to get out of the gas there as we see the fire coming out of the pipes. And now Ross Chastain makes a move on the inside, exiting turn number 2 with 36 laps to go. Ross Chastain retakes the lead in his number 1 Chevy. Nice move there from Ross Chastain as he regains the lead, taking it away from Ryan Blaney. And Kyle Busch drops all the way back to 4th position with Josh Berry on the bottom, gets just on the inside of him. But Kyle Busch is now up to 3rd place.
Help coming for Busch in the form of Kyle Larson.
Ross Chastain trying to hold on to this one, but we see Kyle Larson making a move inside of Kyle Busch to get inside the top 5. And now he's right behind Ryan Blaney on the top side as Kyle Busch tries to make a move down on the bottom side of the track with Ross Chastain still holding the lead. And behind him, here comes Josh Berry. Berry with a big push to the leader. And on the inside comes Josh Berry and his number 21 Ford. And the Wood Brothers car, that Ford Mustang, looks to regain the lead here away from Ross Chastain. But we see Austin Cindric, the number 2 Ford for Penske Racing, gives a nice push to the leader, number 21. And he's looking to take away the 2nd place position away from Ross Chastain. This race is getting intense, folks, with 33 laps to go here at this Atlanta Motor Speedway race as Ross Chastain makes a move on the inside of the 21 and retakes the lead here, exiting turn number 2.
He does not want to be in 2nd.
But Josh Berry makes another nice move as we head inside here in 3rd, turn number 3, exiting turn number 4. Josh Berry now regains the lead coming out of turn number 4. And we go down the front stretch with Ross Chastain getting a nice move, diving down to the inside, and he retakes the lead away from Josh Berry as we head and exit turn number 2. And here comes Austin Cindric on the inside of the 21, but the 21 refuses to back down as he's now pushed up towards the lead, retaking the lead away from Ross Chastain as we exit turn number 4. Back on the front stretch, they're side by side. This racing is intense with 31 laps to go. The Penske Racing teammates are second and third, but Kyle Larson wants to make it 3 wide as his number 5 Chevy comes to the inside of Ryan Blaney. I should say the outside lane. And now Kyle Larson puts himself in position inside the top 5, right behind Josh Berry in the second spot, pulling up right next to Austin Cindric in the 3rd spot. And we see Kyle Larson takes 3rd. Josh Berry makes a move on the inside, retaking the lead away from Ross Chastain. And now we see Austin Cindric on the bottom of the racetrack, able to get up to the 2nd position after pushing Josh Berry towards the lead. They're 3 wide back of the pack near position number 10, 11, and 12. In Penske Racing order, Austin Cindric in 3rd, Ryan Blaney in 5th, and Joey Logano all the way back in 13th. 29 laps to go here in this race. Josh Berry with the lead.
Yeah, he had to get up right there, because if you get stuck on that bottom lane with no help and the tighter radius of the corner, you just wind up losing all the track position.
And here we go, Josh Berry trying to hold on to this lead. A very competitive race here in the NASCAR Cup Series at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Look at this group up front. Wasn't it just 7 days?
Very clean racing too, as we're starting to see the lines get organized here. With Bubba Wallace trying to make a move behind Christopher Bell back in position number 9. Kyle Busch, unfortunately, has dropped all the way back to 10th position after leading this pack once we came back from caution. But Austin Cindric drifts up towards the top of the track, blocking Ross Chastain, who's trying to get around the number 2 Ford. And now the number 2 gets a run, but Ross Chastain cuts on the inside, and oh no, Ryan Blaney gets loose. Can he hold on to it? And no, he can't, as he's going to spin out here. The number 12, unfortunately, gets spun out there after some intense racing. And I wonder what happened there to get Ryan Blaney loose, as we'll have to wait to see the replay. 27 laps to go, and we have our 9th caution of the day. Ryan Blaney able to save that car from spinning out. Looks like it doesn't have any damage. It looks like it's riding very well, but we'll have to see what happened there.
So it ends up being a single car spin for Ryan Blaney.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was off of Hocevar's bumper. They were right there together. Get a replay here and see it.
So Blaney to pit road. And here's what happened.
So here on the replay, Ryan Blaney in the 3rd position here next to his teammate Austin Cindric. Ross Chastain
right as they approach, Blaney's kind of
and Cindric pull away, and then Carson Hocevar with just a bad push to the back of Ryan Blaney, and somehow Ryan Blaney is able to hold on to that car. But he is not going to be happy with Carson Hocevar, as the number 77 Chevy just got into the back of the number 12 Ford way too fast.
All stuff that you have to do. It's just, he was just a little misaligned.
I think he was going to think about trying to go around him. Stayed in line, hit him in the right rear. It's going to turn him around.
Well, let's hear what Carson Hocevar had to say.
Yeah, 10-4. Yeah, copy. I agree. You moved down to block you when you're just going to try and center him up.
I hear the other radio?
Yeah, that's not exactly what happened there. Yeah, Carson Hocevar trying to be too aggressive, doesn't get a clean push on the back of the number 12, and because he hit the right corner panel, that's what spun out the number 12. So I can't blame Ryan Blaney if he's pissed off at the number 77. Carson Hocevar has got to get that under control. That seems to be a big problem with him, especially in this race, trying to be too aggressive and not being able to push people properly. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Appreciate everybody for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Guys, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to reach a goal of 10 likes on this live stream. Let's make it happen, Captain. All right, be right back. I gotta hit the restroom. Be right back, guys. Chair, hold it down. Hold it down, chair. We're back. We're back.
Into Chris Buescher, collecting Alex Bowman. Bowman just got the free pass. And, well, Clint asked to hear the other radio. That would be Ryan Blaney's after Blaney spins off the front bumper of Carson Hocevar. Here is the 12 radio.
I told you, Timmy, 77, absolute of a weapon. I don't know what we can do about it. I mean, no, he's just a moron. He just runs right in the back of you. Like, he has zero idea of, like, where to hit where to bump somebody, where not to. He's swiping across my bumper as he's doing it. He just has no idea for the whole race.
That didn't sound like a zig and a zag. That sounded a little more fun.
And Ryan Blaney not too happy with Carson Hocevar.
Either. It looked to me like Blaney kept his car pretty straight, and he hit him off center and tried to center himself back up and spun the 12 car Blaney around.
So we're going to restart with Josh Berry's Ford alongside Ross Chastain's Chevrolet. Austin Cindric's Ford on the inside with Berry. Kyle Larson Chevrolet on the outside with Chastain. Christopher Bell in the third row for Toyota with Hocevar's Chevrolet. Kyle Busch has a windshield full of Hocevar for this restart and has Bubba Wallace alongside.
And here we go. Restart is underway here in this race from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Josh Berry with the lead. Ross Chastain in second place right to his right. And Kyle Larson in the number 5 Chevy right on the bumper of the number 1. And Austin Cindric in the number 2 Ford right on the bumper of the number 21 Ford of Josh Berry. And Barry gets pushed to the front by Austin Cindric. And Barry goes up to block with Ross Chastain making a move to the bottom. And Kyle Busch makes a move towards the top. I should say Kyle Larson in the number 5 makes a nice move at the top. And Josh Berry's going to end up being caught up in this one. But Kyle Larson now makes a move on the inside. He's looking to regain the lead, and he does, away from the number 1 Chevy. We're 3 wide behind the leaders. And now Kyle Larson has the lead here in Atlanta. Ross Chastain close behind him in second. And behind him we see Carson Hocevar and Austin Cindric in the number 2 Ford. And Austin Cindric makes a nice move on the inside of the number 1 as we see Carson Hocevar in the number 77 make a move on the inside. And now Carson Hocevar has the lead here on the inside lane. It's 3 wide behind the top 3 as we see Austin Cindric now in second place in his number 2 Ford as he looks to make a move on the outside of the number 77. Hocevar tried to block him, but he comes back down near the middle lane and almost gets into the number 2 as Austin Cindric is taking the lead here with 19 laps to go. And now into the inside, he comes back up to block the number 21 as we see the 21 and 5 right behind the number 2. That top lane's been fast all day long, and we see the number 77 Hocevar drop all the way back to the 6th place position. He's on the inside lane trying to make a move here, but the front of the pack is pulling away as Austin Cindric and his number 2 Ford for Penske Racing have gained the lead and are pulling away.
Disciplined nose to tail. But for how long?
I think that what you just said is very valid, and I think there's a reason for that. Those are the fastest cars. Those are the cars that have the least amount of drag on them. All the other cars are more draggy. Chastain qualified 33rd, way off the pace with speed. But you put him in front of one of those cars and keep those Penske cars.
And now the top 4 is Austin Cindric, Josh Berry, Kyle Larson, and Ross Chastain. As we see, Christopher Bell has now gotten himself inside the top 5 with Bubba Wallace just behind him as those top 6 cars now have their own lane here at the top, trying to get to the end of this race with 17 laps to go.
Keep yourself a little more organized. It keeps the chaos of the pack with less cars up in the front. And you see right now they've drugged all those cars out single file instead of passing each other.
So now we see here single file lane near the top of the track with 16 laps to go. Penske Racing has had the most laps led at Atlanta since 2022 with 569, and they're leading here in this one. And now we see Josh Berry right on the bumper of Austin Cindric, with Kyle Larson right on the bumper of Josh Berry. It's 2 Fords and 2 Chevys in the top 4 here. A nice push there from Ross Chastain in 4th place to Kyle Larson in 3rd place. Oh, and we see number 23, Bubba Wallace, get into the wall. And he's somehow able to hold on to it. And now here comes the number 8 of Kyle Busch, right to the bumper of the number 23.
Guys, with 15 laps to go, the busiest person on every race team right now is that spotter on top of the grandstands. I don't see this much spotter talk at a Daytona or a Talladega that I'm seeing right now.
Well, that's because these runs are coming fast. The blocks have to be now. Like, there's nothing this day.
So now we see Josh Berry in the 2nd spot. Kyle Larson behind him in 3rd. Ross Chastain in 4th. And in 5th spot, William Byron has gotten around Bubba Wallace for the 5th position. But here comes Kyle Busch on the bottom on the inside of William Byron. Oh, and we got another car into the wall. Back in the back of the pack with 13 laps to go, but somehow they're able to hold on to it.
One thing I love about this racetrack are those
I could not see what car got into the wall, but nobody wrecks, no caution. We are still green flag racing.
Everything here happens faster in the driver's seat, whether it's the corner, the blocks, the pushes, it all just happens in such a shorter amount of time.
And that top lane is starting to pull away from the rest of the pack.
What Joey Logano wanted Austin Cindric to do earlier. Kyle Larson pulls out. It's Berry to come up to block, and then Cindric will come up and pick up Berry. So they remain 1-2.
And Danny Hamlin in the very back around point position 12, trying to make a move to get to the front. Making it 3 wide near the back of the top 10. Now they're back in single file in that top lane. The top lane seems to be the fast lane here late in this race. And we are 11 laps to go near the end of this race. Who is going to get the win here at Atlanta Motor Speedway in the second race of the 2025 Cup Series race here for NASCAR? Austin Cindric has the lead in his number 2 Ford, with Josh Berry in the number 21 Ford close behind him. We have 2 Chevys behind those two, with Kyle Larson and Ross Chastain behind them. Oh, an aggressive move made by the number 47 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr., making it 3 wide as we exit turn number 2. Kyle Busch trying to hold on to his top 10 spot. And Van Gisbergen in his number 88 Chevy tries to split the difference in the middle, right behind Joey Logano.
Briscoe on the bottom. Behind Gilliam.
And we're under 10 laps to go here in this race at Atlanta Motor Speedway, with Austin Cindric having the lead.
Coming fast.
Yeah, and those tires are going to pay off as
And Ryan Blaney has already made a lot of moves as he's now back inside the top 10, right next to Bubba Wallace, trying to contend for that 8th place position. What a nice comeback there from Ryan Blaney, and look who's right behind him. It's Carson Hocevar, and Blaney doesn't want that.
Blaney started from the pole.
And now Blaney continues to march his way into the top 6, with Josh Berry making it 3 wide at the exit of turn 4. He gets into Ross Chastain. There's contact. And now Ross Chastain's moved up to the top of the rack here as he goes back near 10th place now. Josh Berry able to survive that maneuver, but Christopher Bell, the number 20 Toyota, is on the inside as he tries to make his spot for the lead. Austin Cindric going from top to bottom, trying to block whatever lane seems to be the fastest. As we see now, with 6 laps to go, Austin Cindric in the lead in his number 2 Ford. Christopher Bell in the number 20 Toyota on the bottom lane. We're 3 wide here as we exit turn number 2. Kyle Larson in the middle lane drops back with Josh Berry on the outside. Ryan Blaney trying to make a move to get inside the top 10. And Carson Hocevar pushes the number 5 right up to the 3rd place position. And now Christopher Bell has somebody in his rearview mirror, and that's Kyle Larson in the number 5 Chevy. As we see here, things heating up with 5 laps to go. What will we see this race come down to? And now we see Christopher Bell takes the lead away from Austin Cindric. But Austin Cindric with a nice run, and there was some contact there from the leaders. But Austin Cindric retakes the lead away from Christopher Bell. Contact again with the number 20 Toyota. As we've seen the right front tire of Christopher Bell make contact with Austin Cindric's car. And now he's on the bottom lane with Austin Cindric at the top, with Kyle Larson right behind him, now in 2nd place position. And behind him is last week's Daytona 500 winner, William Byron. And we see Cindric pushes Kyle Larson near the top, almost into the wall. And somebody gets into the wall back of the pack. But they're holding on. We're 3 laps to go. Can we make it to the end? As we see Christopher Bell drops way back all the way to the 6th spot. And oh no! William Byron gets into the right side of Austin Cindric. And we got a caution flag out with 3 laps to go. And we see Austin Cindric. And the number 24 of William Byron get knocked out of this race.
The first driver to win the season's
Man.
first 2 races since Matt Kenseth.
He was trying to get clear there. All that had him clear, trying to move up, waiting on that spotter. You see the tire mark on his right rear quarter panel. Not quite clear. That was an extremely fast car and a great effort out of Austin Cindric. They're going to be crushed.
This is exactly what this always comes down to, though. You have to put yourself in a position to throw those big blocks and take a chance. And this time, Kyle Larson came out on the good side of the accident.
Watch this. Go ahead, Kev. Take it away.
Yeah, and you're going to see the 5-car not quite clear the 2-car of Austin Cindric right
and
here.
yes, so we see the 5 gets into the number 2, and the number 2 of Austin Cindric gets into the number 24 of William Byron. And that's a tough break there, not only for the Penske Racing number 2 Ford, but also last week's winner, William Byron, as they were both inside the top 3, and now they're both taken out. And how about Ross Chastain? Woo! Just gets around those 2 to avoid being involved in that wreck.
Your first four cars.
That's going to be another radio not very happy.
And our appreciation to all our Fox cameramen for the great work that they turned in today, including from the aerial coverage.
And now we will see NASCAR overtime here for this race. As we see the number 5 Chevy got loose, got too far up near the top lane, which got number 2 Austin Cindric into the wall, and then he collects the number 24 as he comes down the track, and both of them end up getting into the inside wall, and that'll more than likely end their day here in this one.
0-0.
If Byron doesn't come that far up the racetrack, does Cindric save it?
I think so.
Yeah, but I mean,
I think he got tight.
He wouldn't. There's a lot of coulda, woulda, shouldas there.
Here is William Byron's radio.
What happened there? Just run out of room. I know it's coming up, but it seemed like he was coming off the wall. The 2 hit the fence. It bounced into you.
Well, that's one way to look at it.
Well, I mean, it just got everything just got super tight there after the 2-car bounced off the wall, and Byron's coming up.
Guys, we've reached over 420 views on this live stream. Let's go. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Come on, guys. Let's get it to 10 likes. We got 6 likes. Let's get it to 10. As we are here in caution, Austin Cindric gets into the wall very, very hard, exiting turn number 4, and then ends up getting into the side of William Byron. And Ross Chastain in the number 1 Chevy somehow is able to get around the wreck.
Kyle Larson knew he wasn't clear, and he moved up the racetrack, kept moving the 2 up the racetrack, and eventually they ran out of room, and the 2 was in the fence. But that's sometimes you got to force your hand to put these guys in that position. And how many times have we seen, something like that on these types of racetracks not work out for Kyle Larson?
Well, it's just extremely frustrating for Cindric. Larson going for his first, putting all this noise away. Cindric, 47 laps he led. He was up front with an extremely fast rocket all day long. He's crushed.
Coming in here, Kyle Larson had really struggled on these super speedways.
Yes, he has.
What do you make of Kyle Larson's difficulties at super speedway racing?
0 wins and 48 starts at super speedways for Kyle Larson.
Yeah, now I'm starting to see it's getting in his head.
Average finish at super speedways is 23rd place for Kyle Larson. He's also had 16 of those due to 16 of those races not finished due to being wrecked out of the race. So
He's the leader right now from Ross Chastain, Christopher Bell, Carson Hocevar, and Josh Berry. And the upshot of this incident is that 2 of the Hendrick Chevrolets end up taking out what was the fastest Ford in the field, not intentionally, just running out of racing room.
Yeah, and that's how these races work out, right? I mean, it's just the attrition at the end of these races. You just don't know who it's going to be. Sometimes you miss them, sometimes you don't.
All right, guys, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here as we will see NASCAR overtime, just like we seen last week at Daytona.
as we will go to overtime and settle this one in Atlanta with a green-white checker.
If you have advanced prostate cancer.
Oh, shake your body, what a kid ain't cold, God no. Hey guys, thanks for hanging out here on TimReynoldsShow. Guys, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We'll be right back. Come on, shake your body with a King and Kong God no. Shake your body with a King and Kong God ding. Shake your body with a King and Kong God no. Everybody with a dun dun da dee.
Finish! Unbelievable! 3-wide finish. Have you ever seen anything like that? 3 by 3 to the line. Johnson, I've never seen anything like that. They touch! All right! What a finish! Coming to the line. Crash together. I believe Busher. Hold on. It's Larson. Holy cow. What a finish, boys.
So have we ever? Yeah, a few times.
My gosh.
The way this race is playing out, I'll be happy if anybody finishes.
Oh, somebody's going to finish. Somebody's going to... It's going to be a photo finish. This is wild.
Hendrick Motorsports out front with Kyle Larson. They have 17 victories here at Atlanta. We talked about the Wood brothers and Josh Berry. For the Wood brothers, Cale Yarborough, 3 wins. David Pearson, 3 wins. Neil Bonnet, 2. Marvin Patch, 2. Morgan Shepherd
And Kyle Larson will take the top lane here on this first NASCAR overtime restart. Ross Chastain takes the inside lane. Carson Hocevar will be behind Ross Chastain on the inside. Christopher Bell will be behind Kyle Larson in row 2.
He smoked the wall pretty hard in 3 and 4. It's going to be interesting how his car is. But, I mean, Stenhouse, those are tires.
And how about Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the row number 3, right behind Christopher Bell in 6th position. And NASCAR overtime is a 2-lap shootout. If the leader takes the white flag, the next flag will end the race. Caution prior to the white flag restarts NASCAR overtime.
5th at Daytona. Here he is knocking on the door of a second straight top 10.
And man, Ryan Blaney able to come from the back of the pack up to row number 4 could more than likely end up with a top 10 finish here.
Well, I guess overtime could be called encore, but it's not.
Well, as we go through this restart,
and here we go.
We see
Let's get ready for some NASCAR overtime.
Like it has, the inside gets formed with those first couple cars and don't clear the outside. But with Larson taking off first, it might keep that a little more even, Clint.
All right, here they come to the end.
And here we go.
Start zone.
It is time for NASCAR overtime. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys. And there we go as Ross Chastain gets pushed towards the front. He's side by side with Kyle Larson as we head into turn number 1. Kyle Larson on the outside trying to gain the traction he needs as he pulls up side by side with the number 1. And now down the backstretch, we see the number 1 Ross Chastain get squirrely with Carson Hocevar trying to cut in the middle, and he does as he gets past Ross Chastain, but Chastain is able to hold on to the bottom and makes it 3 wide entering turn number 4. Kyle Larson with the lead. Carson Hocevar, though, right on his bumper, and we see Christopher Bell on the outside, and his number 20 Toyota comes side by side with Kyle Larson for the lead, and we see a big battle down the backstretch on the final lap. The next flag will be the race as Carson Hocevar gets into the back of Christopher Bell. He makes it 3 wide as we get into turn number 4. We're going to see a close one as the caution comes out. Who has the lead as Christopher Bell makes it to the checkered flag?
And it doesn't matter who got to the line first.
Oh, man! What an ending to this race! And it looks like Christopher Bell's team thinks they've won it. But we will have to wait to find out when the caution flag came out. Carson Hocevar, the number 77 Chevy, able to make a huge move, and there it is. It is official as we see on the replay here. When the caution flag came out, Christopher Bell will win this NASCAR Cup Series race from Atlanta Motor Speedway. What a victory here for Christopher Bell and the 20 Toyota Racing Team for Joe Gibbs Racing.
Didn't see a Toyota at all day long.
No, we did not.
And you might just see one in victory lane.
You never know how the end of these races.
For social interview, and we'll continue on to victory lane. Please, race winner.
Christopher Bell scores in Atlanta after the Toyotas.
Good job, Bell. I'm really proud of you, man. You really dug in there.
Toyotas did not qualify well at all. They were in the trunk. And yet, Joe Gibbs Racing, Christopher Bell, Adam Stevens find a way. Significant that he should battle Kyle Larson to the
Wow. What an ending to that race, guys. That was exciting. And Christopher Bell is your 2025 Atlanta winner. And he's going to burn the tires as Joe Gibbs Racing gets their first win of the new season here in 2025.
After finishing 31st at Daytona last week, he has his first Atlanta victory.
What a victory for Christopher Bell, as he was able to get around the number 5 Chevy of Kyle Larson on the last lap. And as the caution flag came out, Christopher Bell would have the lead on the last lap, which gives him the win. Congratulations to Christopher Bell and Joe Gibbs Racing.
Roughly half a car length ahead of Carson Hocevar when the crash happened mid-pack. And in this instance, with cars oncoming into that accident scene, NASCAR throws the caution.
Yeah, and I think they definitely use their own discretion as to when they throw the caution, and usually it's to keep the drivers from driving through a debris field and put them at risk. So
Carson Hocevar talks it over with Ross Chastain.
And Carson Hocevar definitely going to get a lot of drivers talking to him today, as he had a fast car, but probably raced too aggressive here in this one.
32nd and found a way to get it done today. As he gets a hug from his wife, you found a way to get it done. How did you do that?
Man, I'll tell you what, that right there is what you dream of, to be able to restart on the first or second row at a green light checkered at a speedway. You never know how those things are going to play out, but I'll be the first to tell you, I love super speedways. I don't know, this style of racing has just always been a little bit of a struggle for me, and throughout the beginning of the day, we obviously were just stuck way in the back, and Adam and these boys back here, they did an amazing job getting this thing fixed up to where I could just hold my foot down. That's what it's all about. You got to be able to stay in the throttle, and that last half of the race, we were at our best.
Christopher Bell wins in Atlanta.
Way to go, Christopher Bell. And once again, Joe Gibbs Racing proves why they're one of the better teams in the NASCAR Cup Series. And Ross Chastain pissed off talking to Carson Hocevar.
Help and run with him for a little bit longer. Hocevar went to the outside. Let's see what happened. What drew the caution here.
So now we'll see what drew the caution at the end. And of course, yep, Carson Hocevar gets into Josh Berry in the second row there. As we see, Blaney's able to get around them. And Hocevar able to get around Blaney to get that second place finish with how fast of a car he had.
Shoved the 20 out to the lead.
And the lights were ablaze.
The lights are already on.
Caution lights were on.
That's right.
For everything happening. Now, let's have a look behind.
Josh Berry getting into the side of Denny Hamlin, and same thing, that hole.
And we see there, Josh Berry gets into the side
in front of Joey Logano and
of Danny Hamlin, and after a great run in this one, Josh Berry unfortunately gets wrecked out of this race. That's a tough break there for the Wood Brothers number 21 Ford Racing team. They definitely wanted that back. And then Ryan Blaney, same thing, coming to talk to Hocevar.
Came oh so close, like 12 laps. Kyle, I thought maybe this was going to be your night to get a drafting track win, but third place, you're so close. Take us through kind of those closing laps. What happened with you and Cindric, and then there at the end with 3 wide?
Yeah, just a little bit of a lazy kind of up the track. He got there a little bit quicker than I thought he would. I thought he was just going to pick me up on the exit of 2, but yeah, so that was probably my fault. I haven't seen a replay, but I'm sure that was my fault. And then, yeah, I mean, the restart, you know, I haven't seen it back, so obviously the 20 got to my right side, but I don't know. I don't know what I did wrong or right. I thought, you know, maybe if the 20 picked me up, he was just gonna push me and get clear of me into 1 anyways. So yeah, I think it kind of worked out okay. And then yeah, I just didn't get the caution come out late enough till I got the run back to the inside. So came up a little bit short, but I'm proud of the effort today by everybody on our HinderCars.com Chevy, and yeah, finally finished at Atlanta, and finally got to run up front.
Well done, thank you.
Thanks.
Larson was among 50
words from Carson are from Kyle Larson after he looked to get his first ever Speedway win in his NASCAR Cup Series career. But instead, it's Christopher Bell and his number 20 Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing that's able to get the last lap pass to get the lead and win here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, the second race for the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series season. All right, guys, so we'll go to the unofficial results here for everybody. We see Carson Hocevar gets a career-high finish here in second place with his number 77 Chevy, and definitely made some enemies on this racetrack, if you will, guys, if you ask me. Kyle Larson finishes third in his number 5 Chevy for Hendrick Motorsports. Ryan Blaney, hey, I got to give Ryan Blaney a round of applause. That guy came from the back of the pack to finish inside the top 5 after what looked like he was going to be out of this race. He's able to save his car after it came out on caution after Carson Hocevar gave him too hard of a push, which I'm sure we seen there just a little bit ago, but he was talking to Carson Hocevar about that, driver of the number 77 Chevy. But a very, very good finish by Ryan Blaney. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. rounds out the top 5 in his number 47 Chevy. We also see Kyle Busch finishes 7th in his number 8 Chevy. Denny Hamlin and his number 11 Toyota finishes 6th. We see Bubba Wallace finishes 9th in his number 23 Toyota. Ross Chastain finishes 8th in his number 1 Chevy for Trackhouse Racing. And then also John Hunter Nemechek gets another top 10 finish here in the second race of the year after finishing inside the top 10 last week at Daytona. He gets another top 10 finish here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, finishing in 10th. And how about Joey Logano, who led the most laps here in this race at Atlanta, but ends up finishing 11th as he was not able to get back from or get up to the front from the back after trying to a different pit strategy than other people were. And guys, here after that, Zane Smith in the number 38 Ford finishes 12th. Michael McDowell. Hey, I got to give a round of applause to Michael McDowell in the number 71 Chevy. He was down at one point by 5 laps. He was 5 laps down with some issues they were having with a pump that he had to replace underneath the hood. But he's able to drive his way all the way back to a top 15 finish. Hats off to you, pal. God, good freaking finish here for that racing team and Michael McDowell. AJ Allmendinger gets a nice finish here at 14th for his number 16 racing team, or Chevy racing team. Todd Gilliland, after a strong early part of this race here for his number 34 Chevy, or number 34 Ford, I should say. Todd Gilliland finishes 15th here to round out the top 15. And then Austin Dillon finishes 16th in his number 3 Chevy for RCR Racing for Richard Childress Racing. Riley Herbst in the number 35 Toyota for 2311 Racing finishes 17th. Chase Elliott, way to go, man. Good round of applause for you, Chase, after that caution that brought him out where he ended up getting into the wall and broke a toe link. They were able to get that toe link fixed on the right side of that number 9 Chevy there in the pits as the Hendrick Motorsports team there in the pits were able to get the job done, get Chase Elliott back out there, and he finishes 18th in this one. I would say with all things considered, that's a very good finish for Chase Elliott. Ryan Preece finishes 19th in his number 60 Ford, and Justin Haley finishes 20th in his number 7 Chevrolet.
Cup victory. Kyle Busch, the driver there. The driver who finished second, stirred up a lot of people here. Almost had his first career win. He's standing by with Regan Smith.
That's right, Chris. Carson Hocevar comes home in second place today. Career best finish for you, Carson, but I got to ask you, there was a long line of guys here to talk to you. Ross Chastain, Ryan Blaney, very aggressive race out there. What did they have to say to you?
I mean, I'll just leave those to myself, but, you know, first off, apologies to, you know, Larson and HMS, Mr. H, everybody. They help us out a lot, and I didn't realize we weren't racing back to the line. The last 2 nights were kind of that way, and I hit the 20 to get them out of the way and filled middle. And, you know, a little bit longer, maybe we win the race. So, but big thanks to, you know, Spire Motorsports, Chevrolet, everybody, Delaware Life. I normally ride in the back and run last, and it was, you know, try to get a good, decent finish. And for how bad we were at Daytona, I was no riding. So, yeah, I mean, there's some stuff I got to learn and clean up a little bit, but I feel like we put ourselves in the perfect opportunity to try and win a race. I've never had that opportunity really before, especially on a super speedway. So just big thanks to everybody at Spire Motorsports. They deserve, you know, all the praise. You know, I just get to hold the wheel and run wide open and try to put myself in a decent spot. And unfortunately, it wasn't the best spot, but it was just one spot short.
Thanks, Carson. Chris?
Thank you, Regan. Yeah, last year's Rookie of the Year, Watkins Glen.
So Carson Hocevar kind of told you there, he made a mistake. He pushed Christopher Bell in the number 20 towards the lead, which actually ended up getting him the race win when he's partnered up with Hendrick Motorsports, and he's unfortunately take that win away from Kyle Larson in the number 5 team, and also had a couple of drivers coming up trying to talk to him, including Ross Chastain and Ryan Blaney, who were not too happy with Hocevar and the way he raced.
Is the history that Carson has, maybe with being overly aggressive out on the racetrack. I don't know that what happened tonight led up to all of that, but he did make a lot of people mad. But I would just tell you that this type of racing is about being selfish and doing what you need to do, what's best for you. You know, Carson's going to learn from that. Obviously, he made some people mad, but Chris, I think that's just all part of it.
And Kyle Larson was in the top 10 all day, close to getting that first victory on a drafting track, but it was a bit of the larceny from Christopher Bell to capture the win. More on his celebration at Joe Gibbs Racing and Toyota victorious here in Atlanta. When we continue live, Jamie McMurray, Chris Myers, hang with us. More post-race coverage in a moment.
And the number 20 Toyota driver Christopher Bell is in victory lane here at Atlanta Motor Speedway after passing Kyle Larson on the last lap of NASCAR overtime before the caution flag came out. And when it did come out, number 20 was in the lead. So Christopher Bell gets the win here. His first win of the season. First win for Joe Gibbs Racing here in the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series season. And what a very competitive and back and forth race here in this one, guys. Really like to see the racing here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. This is now a super speedway track after they reconfigured it and redid it a few years ago. And because of that, we've always seen very competitive racing here at this racetrack. Joey Logano was dominant early on in this race in his number 22 Ford for Penske Racing as he led the most laps of all drivers in this race. And let's not forget to mention his teammates, Ryan Blaney and the number 12 Ford for Penske Racing finished here inside the top 5, even though he got caught up in a caution late in this race. But he was the one who started out on the pole in this one, so he had a fast car, but was definitely able to overcome a lot of other unfortunate circumstances to get the top 5 finish here in this one for Ryan Blaney. And let's not forget to mention his teammate Joey Logano. He unfortunately finishes 11th in this one, but that's actually pretty good for him considering he was in the back of the pack near the end of this race, so he's able to work his way up almost to a top 10 finish. But the big sad one here, guys, for me is the number 2 of Austin Cindric for Penske Racing. He had the lead at the very, very end before we went into NASCAR overtime, and unfortunately, we've seen Kyle Larson push number 2 up to the top of the racetrack too far as the number 2 Ford got into the wall, and after that, Austin Cindric comes down and takes out number 24, William Byron, his Chevy racing team out with him after William Byron won last week at the Daytona 500, and because of that, unfortunately, both him and William Byron finished near the back of the pack in this one after Austin Cindric had a very strong car all day long. And guys, next week we go to our first road course where we will head to Austin, Texas at Circuit of Americas to see that amazing back and forth race here in the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series.
50 lead changes. We got everything we wanted from super speedway racing. Did we maybe get a little too much?
Too much? It's like saying too much fun. This was too much everything on wide open. I loved this race. I love Atlanta Motor Speedway. I love the repave, the job they did. I love the job that these drivers did. These guys put it on display today, Kevin.
Well, what you didn't get too much of was Fords in the top 10. We talked about Fords and watched the Fords have the dominant cars all day. And Ryan Blaney is the only Ford that finished in the top 10. Christopher Bell won, and the Chevys were in contention there late. Didn't really probably work together. We heard Hocevar talk about that a little bit, like they should have. But in the end, Christopher Bell gets it done.
Christopher Bell, Toyotas, average starting position, 26.6. Across the board with the Toyotas. JGR, he 25th, 32nd, 35th, and 36th. And somehow, some way, after all of this, ends up in victory lane. Wild racetrack.
That's the way this goes, Clint. You just never know, and you got to keep yourself in it to win it.
Well, we hope you all enjoyed it. We did.
It was very, very entertaining with Jamie McMurray, Joey Logano again, leading the most laps in this race, had the second most at Daytona. They talked about Fords where they started. Out of 39 cars, Christopher Bell started 32nd, and Toyota had the speed when they needed it, and he ends up winning. But overall, with this race, record number of lead changes, didn't have the pit road speeding penalties that we had.
So a record number of lead changes here in this Atlanta Motor Speedway's race. 50 lead changes throughout the race.
That's right. I mean, it was, look, we started our pre-race show 4 hours ago, talking about how exciting this racetrack is, and it did not disappoint. The runs that these cars are able to generate, how they can run 3 wide around this racetrack, the blocking, the defending, the racing, it continues to be the best track on the NASCAR circuit right now.
It was exciting, and until the end, you didn't know if it would be Larson, maybe a first-time winner like Hocevar, and here comes Bell in his Toyota. All right, stick around. Next weekend, practice from Austin, Texas, and then on Sunday, the Cup Series race on Fox, 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific. William Byron, the winner last year, he again was up there at the end. Who knows what could have happened? Stick around on Fox. Extracted is coming up next. For Clint Boyer, Kevin Harvick, Jamie McMurray, I'm Chris Myers, our entire crew from Atlanta. Thanks for being a part of NASCAR on Fox.
Back in town, the boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. Go down now. What an aggressive race. What an amazing race for the NASCAR Cup Series. And guys, next week we will go road course racing in Austin, Texas at the Circuit of Americas in our first road course race of the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series season. Thank you guys so much for hanging out here on this live play-by-play and reaction on Tim Reynolds Show for this 2025 NASCAR Cup Series race at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And I cannot wait to come back here on the channel next week for our first road course of the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series season. Thank you everybody for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Please make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And thank you everybody, NASCAR fans, racing fans, and everybody who likes and subscribes to Tim Reynolds Show. Let's fucking go. Peace out everybody. Hope you guys have an amazing Sunday evening and can't wait to see you next time on Tim Reynolds Show. Let's fucking go. Peace out everybody.